school coach watching, go out there and fight your guts out for them. Make those parents proud of you. They're proud of you anyway. But go out there and do something. Establish something great for them. Establish something great for them. Look at the many kids today that would like to do that, but they can't because they don't have the opportunity. Dear Father, thank you for this beautiful night. Thank you for the great opportunity we have tonight. Thank you for letting these boys play at Florida State. And I pray that you'll help them to do their best. Help them to do their best. That's all we can ask, to play our best. We pray that you'll protect us from injury. We pray that there are no injuries out there tonight. Give our coaches wisdom and our players wisdom as we make decisions. Maybe we can glorify you. In thy name we pray, amen. Okay, let's, all right, the captain's up. Until we start walking out, we'll
in his locker room just a couple of moments ago with the pep talk and then a prayer with the team as we stand by for tonight's meeting between the 22nd ranked Florida State Seminoles as they are in town to take on the Virginia Cavaliers from Scott Stadium. And here comes Florida State. It's Florida State of Virginia on Saturday primetime college football. Mike Gottfried and Adrian Karsten join me when we come back to Charlottesville right after these messages.
These are quarter carats and these are half.
They're beautiful. What kind of cut is that?
This is a round cut. If you look hard, I'm sure you can see them.
They're fantastic.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
These are 8 carats and these are 10 carats.
Make it a Bud Light.
That weekend is good. See you then.
Going away for a weekend? Then live like a high roller. Go from your hotel to the movies, the shopping malls, and the sports bars.
I thought you liked to eat caviar and watch polo.
Not in this economy.
With Courtyard come out and play rates, you can make the most of your weekend plans.
We'll send you a postcard.
Yeah, whatever.
Call 1-800-MARRIOTT. Courtyard, your Marriott awaits.
And here come the Cavaliers. Tonight, from Charlottesville, Virginia, an extremely important ACC matchup for both of these teams. The Seminoles of Florida State trying to start a brand new winning streak in town to take on the Virginia Cavaliers. And if that's going to happen, this young man right here is going to have to amend some things that happened last week. 6 turnovers, 4 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles. That happened last week against the Miami Hurricane. Hello, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried. And Mike, it goes without saying they've got to do away with the turnovers. But the other thing they have to do is instill some confidence back in this youngster because it had to have been shaken last week.
Ron, the coaches really feel good about Chris Ricks, but they don't feel good about him taking chances, thus the turnovers. So they'd like to see the running game get a little more active in this ball game tonight here at Virginia, like it did against Miami. Take a little pressure off Chris Ricks.
Mike, let me ask you a question. The difference as far as mindset. Normally, Florida State, they're pointing toward national championship and an automatic to the BCS. Right now, they're just concentrating on trying to win the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Ron, it's a great thing they're in the league because they still have the ACC. They still play for the league. Bobby Bowden and his staff have focused every energy on trying to win this conference.
Tell us about Al Grove. Longtime professional head football coach. Now he comes back to his alma mater, coaching in the college ranks. How tough is that transition? Mike, you've been on that sideline.
Ron, I think it's easier coming from pro to college because you bring a certain credibility with you of having been in the pros. Once his players see his system works, and they've already seen it work, they just grow, and they'll grow in leaps and bounds of confidence.
The weather for tonight, very, very comfortable. Low humidity, 65 degrees, supposed to drop down into the 40s. Clear, no forecast of rain. Virginia won the toss, and they have deferred, so Florida State will receive it. David Green will kick it off. Thorpe along with Sam, the two deep men for the Florida State Seminoles. And this one's underway. High end over end, about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Florida State will not return it. Let's go to the sideline and check with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, one of the guys I'm going to keep my eye on tonight is the Cavaliers' leading tackle, who has to have a big night if he's going to have a chance at beating Florida State. Angelo Crowell finds himself smack dab in the middle of an old pro defense that comes right from the playbooks of Al Grove, Bill Parcells, and Bill Belichick. The 3-4, as Mike will describe here, is difficult because he's got to stay in position to make those tackles. Again, he's leading the team in that, but right now he's just fired up, wants to have fun.
First play from scrimmage as Marambo comes out over the football. And Ricks will open under center. Maddox brings it to the near side, 30, all the way to the 34-yard line on the first play, 14 yards. Monsanto Pope makes the tackle. So the starting lineups: Chris Ricks, the redshirt freshman quarterback out of the state of California, and his supporting cast. We just saw the run by Maddox, Maters the fullback, Walker and Bell the wide receivers. We'll see as many as 6 tonight for the Seminoles, and Carver Donaldson is the tight end. Straight ahead, Maddox, big opening, 40, 45, spins away, and he is going to have back-to-back first downs on the ground. Jerton Evans makes the tackle. It's a gain of 11, and here's one of the reasons. Look at the big fellas up front. Williams, Brown, Marambo, Holland, and Williams. And Mike, they go up against a three-man front.
Three-man front. Monsanto Pope's got to get some penetration out of that nose tackle position.
Florida State, 2 plays, 2 first downs. New line of scrimmage, the 45. Maddox again tries to bounce it outside, and he does. Loses the ball. Recovered by Virginia.
Curry, number 22, knocked the ball out.
Monsanto Pope, who you were just talking about, made the recovery. I beg your pardon, Curry made the recovery. Monsanto Pope caused it.
Ron, when you look at the fumbles now for Florida State, that's the 12th fumble they've had this year. That's lost 7.
So Pope does get credit for the recovery. Knocked loose by number 22, as you could see, Curry. So the Cavaliers on offense for the first time tonight. Matt Schaub, the quarterback. Play action on his part, and that pass is going to be incomplete. Luzar is who he wanted. But boy, Charles Howard was coming on really tough off that right side. Here we look at the youngster from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Sophomore quarterback. A couple of real youngsters calling the signals tonight. And he will have Arlen Harris and Tyree Foreman behind him. McMullen is the weapon. 6'4", large receiver. McGrew on the other side. Lazar, the tight end. He is 6'7", and for whom that pass was intended just a moment ago. Pearman in motion. Empty backfield. Short drop, and they get it out to Pearman. And he is going to be tackled after he crosses the 45-yard line. Jennings and Pope combining on the stop. And the offensive line for Virginia: Bailey, Lawson, Woodson, Routson, and Jameis Jones. Jameis was a starter on the left side last year. Now they're moving over to the right. Tell us about the defense.
This is a group that has to step up. Talking to Joe Kynes, one of the FSU coaches, he said Darnell Dockett had a big week in practice. They expect a lot out of him tonight.
So it's going to be 3rd down. Virginia needs to advance the ball to the Florida State 37. Schaub swings it out of the backfield. Pearman, good one-on-one tackle. Number 3, Malcolm Tatum, who is playing with a broken finger. You can see the cast on his right hand. Did not play last week and has had problems with injury. Was replaced by Samuels. He was out there. Good open field hit. So Florida State appears to come away from the turnover unscathed.
I think they expect turnovers, and they expect to go on the field in tough situations. They played that one very well.
Mike Abrams stands back to punt. Outstanding punter. Young man has already graduated from undergraduate. and is in graduate school now. Dominic Robinson is the deep man for Florida State. High hanging spiral. Fair catch is called for and is made at the 14-yard line. So Abrams does his job. Nothing on the return of a 29-yard boot. No damage on the fumble. We'll take a timeout. 12:27 left in this opening quarter.
Build a better SUV. We built a better Mercedes. Introducing the redesigned 2002 M-Class.
Beverly Hills, where the stores take cash, credit, or gold bullion.
Even the poodles drink bottled water.
If you want the best here, it'll cost you. But the best pizza won't cost you. You can get the Rodeo Drive of pizzas. The Pizza Hut pizza, just $8.99 every week this fall. Right now, it's the Big New Yorker pizza. It's humongous, just $8.99. Make it a supreme or specialty pizza for just 99 cents more. Beautiful. So feed your maid, chauffeur, and supermodel girlfriend for just $8.99. Can we eat in here? Only at Pizza Hut.
Here it comes, Cool Blue Mach 3. 3 blades for the closest shave, in fewer strokes with less irritation. Now with a cool look. Cool Blue Mach 3 from Gillette, the best a man can get.
He claims to be not human, visitor from another planet.
On October 26th.
Where is home? K-Pax.
Celebrate the possibilities.
Okay, she doesn't like it when you sneak up on her.
No way. K-Pax, rated PG-13, at theaters Friday.
In a world of uncertainty, there will always be a need for those proud few who can prove they are a world apart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
No score, 12:27 left opening quarter. Mike, last week, 6 turnovers against Miami. Tonight, 1 fumble, no points, but 28 points off those turnovers last week.
Yeah, but you can see Jeff Bowden, the offensive coordinator, what his plan is. Pound Virginia with the running game.
Well, you see the alignment, just what Mike is talking about. 2 tight ends for Florida State. Greg Jones, 20, 25, 30, and pushed out of bounds on the near sideline. They're going to step him out at the 35. Art Thomas is the man who pushed him out, gain of 21 yards.
Now Maddox started at tailback, but does go to the linebacker.
The linebackers, man, Robertson, Crowell, and Duckett. Crowell is their leading tackler. Duckett is the second. They are both good players, aren't they? Talk about the secondary.
Yeah, when you look at the secondary, they got to keep everything in front of them. The safeties, Evans and Newby, they can't get beat for big plays.
Tailback again. Greg Jones hit at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a gain of 1, although they pushed him back. Maddox started it, as Mike said, and then Greg Jones came in, and it looks as though that Greg Jones is shaken up on the play.
I'm sure Al Groh is going to tell his defense that Florida State early in this ball game is cutting everything back. You know, you're getting pursued to the side, he's running, and then they cut everything back. Jeff Bowden calling the plays this year. He likes Greg Jones. Greg's a tough runner.
Also, he's not a smurf. Florida State's got bigger backs than they've had. He's 243. He goes to the sideline. We'll keep an eye on him. Maddox returns, number 20. Maddox gets it, bounces it outside, bounces again, and he's loose. 45, stiff arm to the 50, and pushed out of bounds in Virginia territory by Duckett. Big gainer, 16 yards.
Yeah, Maddox really is the starter. We've talking about that before. He averages 62 yards rushing. He's off for a big night here. First drive, he had big plays. You see the blocking. They get a good pull block out of Milford Brown, the left guard, and then they're in the secondary. So they're having success. And remember, that's taking pressure off Ricks.
No question. Mader, also number 39, the fullback, with a very good block. Maddox now 4 carries for 44 yards. Middle linebacker blitz, and they go straight ahead with the carry, and it's going to be short yardage, a gain of 3. But Florida State, as Mike said from the get-go, they're going to pound and get Virginia's attention.
Everybody that's played Virginia has been able to get outside of them. They've been in short yardage situations where they bounce it outside. Florida State is having a lot of success cutting back against the grain and against the pursuit of the Virginia front three.
Second down, they need to take it down to the 37-yard line. If you just joined us, about to go under 10 minutes left opening quarter. No score, but Florida State driving. Cornerback comes on the blitz in the first throw of the night, and he's got him open. And a complete to number 21, Talman Gardner, who was questionable, rolled an ankle in practice, but he was open on that one. And because of all the running, play action means something, Mike.
Yeah, it really does. Talman Gardner has 13 receptions already this year. It gives him 14. But Chris Ricks, this is just how you'd want to start it for a young quarterback having problems. Runs there, you get a play action pass, builds his confidence up.
Again, two tight ends for the Florida State Seminoles. Stretch play. Maddox turns it upfield, and he is going to be inside the 25. Crowell makes the tackle, his first of the night. Patrick Hughes, a tight end with a good block.
You can call Angelo Crowell's name a lot tonight. He's averaging 12.7 tackles per game. Very active. And when we talked to Florida State's Jeff Bowden, he said, boy, I'm impressed with both their linebackers, but Crowell really gets to the ball well.
Well, you remember Jermaine Crowell. Big brother had a lot of power in the decision-making of where he came to school. They come back to the near side. Maddox, oh, what a nice move. Cuts it inside the 20 to the 19. He will have the first down. Newby out of the secondary. But right now it's just line up and go after him.
And they're running behind the tight ends. Patrick Hughes, number 82, with a good block on that side. The stretch zone play. And Hughes did a nice job blocking the outside linebacker.
He is a junior out of Nacogdoches, Texas, 6'5", 253 pounds. 8th play of the drive for Florida State. Ricks, possibly his first audible of the night. Maddox hit behind the line of scrimmage. That's Darrell Sanders.
Darrell Sanders with a big play. They need some penetration. When a team starts out like this, running right down your throat, you got to get some movement in your defensive line. You got to get somebody up the field.
Mike, it tells me the way Florida State has started off tonight that Florida State was looking for Virginia to really crowd the line of scrimmage and try to force Florida State into throwing the football, but they have not been successful so far.
That's why they go to two tight ends to balance the defense up.
Here come the two middle linebackers. They show blitz, see if they come or not. They do. They roll the pocket. Ricks hit by Pope.
Monsanto Pope with a big play. I was reading about him, Ron. He was raised by his grandmother. She's 75 this month. He is a 12 to 14 children. So he's used to making tackles like that.
Third down. They need to take it all the way to the Virginia 9-yard line to keep this drive going. Florida State scrimmages from their 22. Here they come with another blitz. Hit in the backfield, another loss. And they hit him so hard his mouthpiece came out. Crowell is the man who got in and stuck him.
And that's what you got to get. We just talked about that. You got to get penetration before FSU gets going. Just going to run a sprint draw, and you see Angelo Crowell come back and hit Maddox.
And you saw his mouthpiece just come flying out. He really attacked him with a picture-perfect tackle. Savied Bethia with the field goal attempt of 42 yards. He has the distance, and he is wide left. No good. So there's a timeout. 7:22 remaining, opening quarter. Florida State nothing, Virginia nothing.
All I want to do is to thank you, even though I don't know who you are. Nice wrench work, Chief. If more men would heed the call of the Y chromosome, maybe more of us would have 3 such faucets at our fingertips. Hot. Cold. And Miller High Life.
Lee, you can dunk, but you can't dip. Your dip is gone, baby.
What are you talking about? No dip.
Introducing new Tostitos Scoops.
Let me tell you something, Bill. I put the hip in chip. Watch this.
With the bite-sized, bowl-shaped design for the perfect dip every time. New Tostitos Scoops. Whoa. The dip lover's chip.
This is my house.
Yes, it is.
No, this is my house. You guys got to go.
Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon. Pardon the interruption. 5:30 p.m. Eastern weekdays on ESPN and again at 7 on ESPN2.
BTI.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Buick. Real luxury at an affordable price. Buick. It's all good.
Well, no score, but here is a stat. 10 plays, 61 yards, 4:47 off the clock, and no points. Michael, frustration comes in different ways, but Florida State, 2 plays, both first down plays running. They fumbled the ball. Didn't they drive down? They missed the field goal. All of a sudden, things start creeping between your ears.
Chips away at your confidence.
Running play, going to go for short yardage. Pearman. He is a freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. They really like him. And, of course, the big blow for this football team was Womack, the senior veteran running back and a home run hitter. Injured, unable to play, gone for the year. And, of course, they're having to go with some very young people.
And Al Groh will not let his team even talk about Womack's injury because he said, I don't want to build a crutch in where they make excuses.
Jonathan Ward, number 27, comes in at fullback. If they give it to Pearman, tries to bounce it outside, and here is where Florida State is so tough, and now the late flag coming in, which could be holding from where that one was tossed. Samuels on the tackle.
May get blocking in the back, crackback on McMullen.
Joe Ryder, the referee, and Mike is exactly right. It's a block in the back. Let's firm up the lineups for Florida State. We have had so many back and forths here we didn't get to finish. Pope, Jennings, and Boulware. Pope and Boulware playing extremely well. And talk about the secondary.
Secondary is pretty good. Chris Hope is probably the best in the secondary. An All-American candidate. I still remember his tackle against Clemson when they played in the championship game. They had to beat Clemson to go to the championship game. He made a tackle that kept Clemson from getting a first down and beating them that night.
That's right.
At Clemson.
Almost coming up with the upset. So the penalty is stepped off. It's now 2nd down and 19. They have to come all the way to the 36-yard line to move the sticks again. Shaw hit by Foreman, and he gets hit by Rufus Brown as Foreman, who catches the ball extremely well, converted tailback. They use him at both tailback and fullback, and he's a pretty good sized fellow, 224. And Rufus Brown came up and really put a lick on him.
Boy, he did hit him, Ron, and you just wonder when Virginia's going to be able to get the ball to McMullen, their leading receiver. Here you see the hit on Brown, from Brown to Foreman. But number 11 is the big play receiver for this Virginia football team.
3rd down and long yardage. Schaub's pass just a little too far. There was McMullen, their leading receiver. And at 6'4", 205 presents quite a problem for the Florida State Seminoles, but that pass a little bit too far in front of him.
And Ron, he's caught so many passes. He leads the ACC in reception and receiving yardage. Florida State's going to double him tonight whenever possible.
2nd punt of the night by Mike Abrams. He is at 28 kicks at 50 yards or better. Wobbly spiral to the near sideline, and it's going to come out of bounds. No return as it comes out at the 43-yard line. So it's 41 yards on the boot. And we'll take a timeout. 5:37 remaining, opening quarter. Still no score between Virginia and Florida State.
What we have is the beginning of a new era.
Raw is war.
God is carnage!
The launching pad of superstars. The site of the greatest rivalry in sports entertainment. And the home for WWF Attitude.
If anybody wants to see Vince McMahon get his whip, give me a hell yeah!
The Best of Raw Volume 1, premiering Wednesday, October 3rd, and all month long on Dish On Demand.
Me? Starring in Smart and Smarter? I mean, like, playing a Nobel Prize winner is great and everything, but I really like bells.
If this movie's ever made, will you be protected? You will with DishFlix, your source for the best movies on Dish Network. Maximize your movie watching with daily highlights of only 3- and 4-star movies and premieres. DishFlix, just $1.95 a month. Call 1-800-333-DISH to order. DishFlix, only the best movies will do.
E equals MC squares, and I like squares too.
Last week on Sunday NFL Countdown.
Please come to Boston in the springtime.
Don't do it!
I have to.
What about your Bengals, man? Corey Dillon? I was a Bronco.
This week, Bill Parcells returns to Countdown.
But as you washed-up players know over there, don't cross the line.
Plus, Kurt Warner's bodyguards. Ricky Williams and the rushing game lead the way for the Saints. And previews from all around the league. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. Sunday on ESPN.
We'll leave a light on and a bed made.
No score between Florida State and Virginia. And a reminder, the aerial views are courtesy of Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Overhead is the Goodyear blimp Stars and Stripes. This continues a 76-year tradition as the aerial ambassador and icon of the 100-year-old company. Greg Jones, obviously the injury not serious enough to keep him on the bench. Back into tailback. Play action right at the middle. Whips it complete to Walker. And Walker all the way down inside the 35-yard line. And Rick shows you right there why they like him and his arm. Brian Kenny.
Ron, Nebraska 7-0 gets Oklahoma next week, but no joke here against Texas Tech. Eric Crouch wants to go a 14-10 lead. 19-yard touchdown pass to Wilson Thomas. It's now 21-13, Nebraska.
Texas Tech, huge underdog in that ball game, but they're playing them tough.
I'll come back to that game right here.
23 yards on that last play. This is Jones. Bounces it to the outside, but a good job by the Virginia defense to string it out, and it's John Duckett. Adrian, you've got an injury report on Greg Jones for us.
Situations like that, when he has to run wide to the left, he's going to have trouble turning it up because of a slight sprain to his left ankle. Didn't want it retaped, just took one tablet painkiller, little Gatorade to chase it back on the field. But running right is going to be the strength for him, not going left.
Okay. We will watch him as that first play went to the left.
Ron, I want to come back to that Texas Tech game because that's a benefit for Nebraska playing Texas Tech because they run the same offense. So 2 weeks in a row, Texas had the opportunity. They shut Oklahoma's offense down, so Nebraska gets that opportunity.
2nd down and 6. Play action by Ricks. Going to try to run it. And will. 25 and runs out of bounds at the 23, and that's going to be a penalty. A shove out of bounds and 15 more yards, and Al Groh is just not going to be very happy with Art Thomas. Oh, boy.
That's a good decision by Chris Ricks. Now, nothing was open. They only had 2 receivers out in the pattern. Virginia had it well covered. Took him a while, but then he scrambled for good yardage. Picks up the penalty. Chris Ricks sets up. He has got 2 receivers out. Tailback's not looking for the football. Chris Ricks takes off. Here's the hit by Art Thomas.
Penalties. Florida State almost 11 per ball game, and Virginia just over 8. Art Thomas out of Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, and he needs to work on his mental mechanics this evening. Very, very unwise. Florida State doesn't need help, and they have a first down just outside the 11-yard line. Flags are down, as you could see, in the neutral zone. Looked as though it was George Stanley who came across, and whether he made contact or not, don't know.
I still don't like that play for the quarterback to take a knee.
Prior to the snap, offsides on the defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Ron, the center's taught as soon as you see somebody come over or get close, snap the football. I'd rather see the quarterback sneak it and try to get a yard or so in case the officials don't call it.
Yeah, you're right. Well, one of the things Al Gross said after practice on Thursday, last week we played dumb football. And 2 plays in a row, he's going to tell his team that was dumb football. 3 penalties, 27 yards against Virginia. Jones. Good job by John Duckett, the senior out of Lexington Park, Maryland, and a flag is down in the middle.
Yeah, it's a holding call probably against Florida State.
That's going to be the call, and with the preliminary signal as they mark it off, gives me time to tell you a story. Crowell, Duckett just made that stop. And I said, you know, are there any games that go on with the players on the defensive side because you're a very tight unit? And he said, yeah. He said, John Duckett and I have this wager that whoever comes up with the most tackles on Saturday night, that if I have more, he has to buy me lunch the next week, and vice versa. And I said, who's ahead? And he said, well, I am right now. And I said, are they expensive lunches? And he said, no, neither one of us have any money. So it's normally a sub or something like that.
I'd get to the statistician. I'd make sure he favored me.
Right now, Duckett is going to be eating free. He's got 5. Crowell's got 3. 1st and 16, and Ricks wants to call timeout. So we'll take a timeout. 4:19 remaining. Virginia nothing, Florida State nothing, but the Seminoles driving.
Get down in the dirt. Get down on the dunes. Get down on the trail. Get your monthly payments way down. Get down. As low as $69 a month and no down payment with a Honda card. Get down. Or get low 6.9% financing and no down payment on any new Honda ATV. Get down-to-earth deals now at your Honda dealer.
It's here, kids!
I think it's too big, Dad.
Like to know exactly what you're getting before you buy it? Go to BestBuy.com and research everything before you go to the store. That way, you'll get what's right for you. Best Buy. Go ahead. Turn on the fun.
If your hair is thinning, call 1-800-HAIR-CLUB now for this free booklet. The Hair Loss Resource Center, giving you the information you need to make an educated decision on hair loss. Whether you're just starting to thin or experiencing advanced hair loss, Hair Club has an option that's right for you. Hair Club, the answers you've been waiting for.
And we are back. Florida State, Virginia, no score. Going to be a 1st down and 16 following that penalty.
Be a nice time for a screen or some kind of delay, because you got Virginia really trying to pressure Chris Ricks.
Short drop, fade. Got Walker. Touchdown, Florida State.
Better call would be the fade. And they had him double. Curry and Newby against Javon Walker, who's 6'3". We talk about the bigger receivers all the time.
Yeah, and when you look, Mike, Curry 5'8". Newby is 6'1", but that's a tough matchup.
And I couldn't see if he got his feet in from where we're at.
But to attempt the extra point, he missed the 42-yard field goal attempt earlier. Knocks this one home, and with 4:13 left in the opening quarter, Florida State goes in front. And you can tell by the reaction of the crowd here at the stadium that they don't think that he was in bounds when he came down with the football.
Well, Javon Walker is the leading receiver for this football team. Just runs a takeoff. Let's see where his feet come down at.
That's his feet are in.
Looks pretty good, and the official's right on the spot.
Yeah, he gets both feet in. In fact, see?
Yeah.
He
touchdown, good call.
Brian Kenny will check with you again.
Ron, BYU averages 47 points per game. They're going over that here. Brendan Doman to Doug Jolly catches his third touchdown pass for 18 yards. All three 18 yards. It's now 56-13.
You know, Mike, more and more offenses are using that play right there with the coming of the rule that when you catch the ball behind the line of scrimmage, you can block downfield. And whether you bubble it and set a screen with it or what, I mean, that can be a devastatingly good play.
The run and shoot started it. They had a little flip pass to the one back and then let their linemen go downfield. And that started all this bubble screen and all those things. But Air Force is not very good on defense. I think they're 7th in their league in defense against the run.
Folks, there's not a happier young man in America than young Mr. Ricks. You just saw the headset from the 5-yard line. It's Mason, and he will cross the 20 and get it to around the 23. Well, tomorrow evening on ESPN, check out the latest episode of The Season as we featured the University of Miami football team spend the week with the Hurricanes as they prepared for last Saturday's rival game against Florida State. That's tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Now this Virginia offense got to settle down. They got to get something going here because they've let their defense hanging out there.
You see the numbers on Schaub, almost 60% completion, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He is 3 of 5 tonight for 5 yards. They throw, as you look at Spinner, who is Bryson was the man they thought would be their quarterback. But Schaub has really come on and improved with each start. And you can see why there. He really can zing the ball. McGrew on the receiving end, going to be a catch for about 7 yards. We had a chance to visit with him yesterday. Delightful young guy he said, I really can't make up my mind if I had rather start or come off the bench. He said both have benefits.
Well, when he started his second career start, he was 33 of 54 against North Carolina, who has a great defense. 334 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'd say start.
Well, you see the completions and also attempts are both school records. That's McGrew in motion, but they keep it on the ground, and 21 Pearman. Very little yardage running against Florida State. Close to the first down, but I don't believe he's going to have it. Keep in mind, last week at halftime, Florida State had held Miami to 2 yards rushing.
Played good defense against Miami, and so far they're doing what they have to do against Virginia. That is control Billy McMullen.
Well, they got a favorable spot. They do move the chains in the new line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 35. As you look at Mickey Andrews, longtime assistant coach and defensive coordinator for Coach Bowden. Florida State has 10 first downs tonight. That is the first for Virginia. That's the reason the crowd was cheering. This is Foreman. Foreman will take it for short yardage, couple, maybe 3. Jennings is there to make the tackle. There are a lot of people that think that Foreman will be able to play on the next level because he catches the ball so well, and you can use him as either a fullback or as a tailback.
And a good blocker.
Yeah.
And he's got some power in his legs.
Foreman also, in watching him at practice, a very good work ethic. McMullen, number 11.
Got him in here tight.
Yep.
Trying to find a way to free him up.
See if they go to him. Schaub gets a good block. Flings this one just a little too far. Chris Lazar couldn't hold on to that one. And as we said, Chris is a very big target. He's 6'7".
Yeah, McMullen, Ron, Lazar is 3rd on the team with 17 receptions. But what Florida State's got to do is frustrate this guy right here, Billy McMullen. He leads the ACC in receptions. He's had 11 catches in each of the last 2 games. He is the offense when you look at that. 9 TD receptions. So we're only halfway in the season, and this guy's the leading scorer. So FSU needs to know, and they have so far, where he's at.
Yeah, because they've
one pass to him so far.
Schaub on 3rd down. There's Lazar, the tight end, across midfield, and somebody blew a coverage right there, takes it down to the 35.
Ron, what happened is we're talking about McMullen, and McMullen ran a streak route. They doubled him, and that opened Chris Lazar, the tight end. 11 of his catches, of his 17 catches, have been for first down. Watch McMullen come off here on the outside. He takes 2 with it. And when you take 2, the tight end's on a crossing route, he's wide open.
Chris Lazar, by the way, has a younger brother, Case. Chris is a senior, and Case, who is in the ballgame right now, number 86, is a sophomore tight end. Chris is 6'7", Case is 6'2". Pitch back goes to Harris. Throws it back to Schaub. Pass incomplete, and a flag is down. I don't know about this one. McMullen's who they wanted.
I tell you, McMullen's smart, though. He ran into the defender.
Yep.
Abdul Howard. And so he pulled a smart move, although he pushed. And the official saw him trying to get to the football. So McMullen smartly got that call. Throw back to the quarterback. Now you're going to watch McMullen coming down here on a post. He just bumps into the guy. But
there's no way. There's no way that's pass interference. If anything, that defender has as much right to get to the football or to cut him off, and that's exactly what he did.
But I like Al Groh and Mike Groh and Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, trying to get the ball to their top guy.
Yep. And have a feeling that head coach Bowden will put an asterisk by that one when he talks to the league officials come next Monday. That was Perriman in motion. Pressure off the corner, and he throws to Perriman. 10-yard line at the 5, and he will score. 19 yards in the pass play to the freshman out of Charlotte, Alvin Perriman. And David Green steps on. He'll try to tie this one at 7. We are deadlocked. 1:33 left. Opening quarter. And Virginia has come back. They dug into their bag of tricks. Got the pass interference penalty, and then on the very next play from 19 yards they get it to the running back.
Alvin Perriman's going to come out of the backfield. You see everybody running this way. Alvin Perriman catches the football, and then he will not be denied for the touchdown.
One of the things that Mickey Andrews talked about yesterday, as you look at this play one more time and you see there's not a linebacker in sight, he said that one of the things that Al Groh does such a wonderful job of, and the offensive staff, is they'll run the same play and use 5 different formations, and what happens is they cause enough confusion that somebody misses an assignment and you wind up with somebody running free like this play right here.
Well, I've said all along, sometimes you see an AD hire a coach and you wonder why, and then 4 years later, 5 years later, they're firing the guy they hired. Al Groh is a fit here. I mean, he's been around Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells, one of the greatest coaches of our day. So he knows what he wants to do here with this offense and defense. Now, he doesn't have the players yet, but his recruiting will bring players in there. He is a perfect fit for this football team.
Oh, I agree with you. I was visiting with Terry Holland this morning, who is the athletic director emeritus and now special assistant to the president. And he was talking about how extremely happy the people of Virginia are. This is Thorpe. 20, 25 at the 30, and the kicker will make the tackle. After a return of 38 yards, David Green had to get a headgear onto his thigh. Brian Kenny.
Ron, back to Nebraska and Texas Tech, and Nebraska with a balanced offense, passing and, of course, running the football. Eric Crouch back to Wilson Thomas. It's a 35-yard touchdown pass. Crouch last check throwing for 168 yards, but Cliff Kingsbury last week threw for over 400 against K-State. Got that touchdown back to Anton Page, and it's now 28-20 Nebraska. South Carolina leading Vanderbilt at the half. It's 19-7. Ron, Mike.
Maddox back in the ball game at tailback. They fake it to him right over the middle, and now here comes a flag. I held on to my end because Donaldson got tackled. Now the ball, I think if the defender Chris Williams had left him alone, I think it was too tall. but he tackled him just before the ball got there.
Going to see the play here, and I tell you, that's close.
Yep.
Chris Williams very close to just making a good play on Donaldson. They're protecting those receivers tonight here.
4 penalties on Virginia, 42 yards now. Rick. And just throws this one to a blind spot. He was looking for Atrus Bell. Crowd is loving it. The fact Al Groh has gone all the way down to the 20-yard line and he is really on the field, Judge.
He may find a difference in the officiating in the NFL and college football, but you know, he may think that was a good play. I personally agree with him. I thought Williams was right there.
So it's 2nd down and 10. From the Virginia 41-yard line. Blitz off the corner, throws it out of the flat, and got this one complete to Atrus Bell. Tackled immediately, and that's going to be a gain of about 4 yards by Raymond Mann.
That's his first catch. Now he's had 1 catch in 19 straight football games. Atrus Bell, who was here for a long time. He went through the North Carolina State win over Florida State when Chris Weinke struggled, and Jeff Bowden talked about that the other day. He's been a big help to Chris Ricks.
The crowd trying to get in this one and help the defense. William McCray checks in at fullback. 3rd down. They need the 31. Here comes the all-out blitz. They set middle screen, and he throws it too tall for McCray. Whoa, boy. They had numbers for a moment, threw it a little late, and then threw it too high.
There's times to screen on when you get a man coverage situation. Somebody's on the back, so Greg Jones, it really wasn't there. It would have busted up anyway. William McCray was the guy intended.
First punt of the night. Gwaltney. His average 42.6 on the season, his longest 60. He just needs a pooch kick right here, and that's what he does. Very, very high. And he kicked it too far. It's going to go into the end zone and touchback. 15 seconds showing on the clock left in this opening quarter. Monday on the 6 p.m. Sports Center, it's the much anticipated release of the first BCS standings of the season. Question is, who's going to be number 1? Where will Miami be? Chris Fowler, De Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, and Tony Barnhart will be on hand to answer those questions and to ask a few questions of their own. It's a special 90-minute edition of Sports Center, Monday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time.
I have a few questions I'd like to ask those guys, too. First of all, who are those guys?
Could be the last play of this opening quarter, and this running play. Wow, Pierman really gets racked in the middle of the line. That's Gerald Houston, or Hudson, I should say, junior out of Homestead, Florida. 4 seconds down to 3, and that is the end of the first quarter. And as we flip into the field, we go to break with our score tied. Virginia 7 and Florida State 7.
Unscripted with Chris Connolly premieres Monday at 5 on ESPN.
We didn't just build a better SUV. We built a better Mercedes. Introducing the redesigned 2002 M-Class.
The ability to do or not do anything you want. Introducing the Nokia 3285 wireless phone. Nokia, connecting people.
You go fishing every weekend, right? And you never catch a thing.
It's not a bad.
Ottoman! What is going on? Armoire!
Furniture. Why is there furniture? Chafing dish. Chafing dish.
I thought I told you to strap everything down.
Coffee table.
Morning commute.
Couch.
On the wings of Goodyear.
Want a job that makes you happy? Post your resume now. Monster.com.
You the monster.
Want to try that triple Lutz?
What the heck? I got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
A Lutz?
No, that something insurance.
Even the best insurance doesn't give you cash for things like lost pay and other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
And we're tied at 7. Very full house here in Charlottesville. One of the traditions as you go right over the edge of where you're looking right now is for people to bring blankets and sit on that north end zone hill, and it is jam-packed this evening, as is the stadium, which seats about 62,000. There you see them on the hill, and what a delightful evening. Temperature may go into the upper 40s, but there's no breeze, no mention of rain whatsoever. It's a great night for college football. Adrian Karsten, let's check with you on the sideline.
Florida State has lost all communication with their coordinators, other coaches up in their box. Hence, subsequently, they've got to take off all of their headsets so they can communicate on the sidelines. Now, by rule, Virginia has to do the same.
Well, I was just watching Al Groh here. He has not taken his off, Adrian. Now, I don't know if any of the other coaches have. Now, maybe what Al Groh's trying to do is now he's taking his off. Maybe you could hear just a little bit where the way he's wearing that. Now all the press box coaches are taking theirs off. So now they have taken everybody except this man. Now he has his off. Now we're all even, Ron. Nobody has a headset. You and I. And Adrian.
That was Al Golden, the defensive coordinator. I wonder if he's headed to the field, Mike. Is he running out of the booth?
Yeah, he's got to, because he can't do any good up here.
Pass overthrown. Incomplete pass. It hit Kendall Pope right in the top of the headgear. We'll give you a game track of what has happened so far. We'll come back and look at that play. 61-yard drive, and Bethea misses a 42-yard field goal attempt. Then Walker, Florida State, 17-yard touchdown reception. And in Perriman, this reception right here as he bolts into the end zone. That's a 19-yard score, and that's how we stand as we open the second quarter, tied at 7. Well, we understand that Golden did make the trek down to the sideline, took his head set off. That pass complete to the tight end Lazar. Broke one tackle. He's going to wind up losing yardage. Boulware is right there to hog tie him. And Lazar is upset. As you look at Golden, he came out of the booth, and thank goodness it's a short run.
Yeah, Ron, and he wouldn't have had done any good up here, because if the phones stay out, you can't call defensive signals. So can't call any signals. So the Florida State coaches are right in the booth next to us. They might as well enjoy a hot dog.
Third punt of the night by Virginia. Mike Abrams stands back at the 3-yard line, and they overran it. He sends a missile over the head of the deep man, Robinson. This is going to go dead at the 16-yard line. And, folks, this is a punt that should have been blocked, and he was off course. 58 yards in the boot. Well, tonight's Aflac trivia question: what was the last team other than Florida State to finish the season with a perfect ACC record? The answer a little bit later on.
Aflac's the greatest commercials.
They are,
and they don't have to pay that duck much.
Only the guy who makes that duck work electronically. First and 10, the line of scrimmage is the 16, and boy, I'll tell you, Abrams really flipped the field, didn't he?
Really did. This defense for Virginia needed this.
Jones at tailback, two tight ends again. They try to bounce him outside on the right. And taking a tackler with him, that's Art Thomas, and he will drag him out to around the 23.
When you watch Florida State this year, we're so used and accustomed to, and all the FSU fans are, and the national public, big plays. You know, the ball being thrown way downfield, jump balls to Peter Warrick and all those fine receivers. So this year and now, they're a different football team now. They don't get the big plays. Haven't yet.
That's Mader, the fullback, who was offset to the right. Jones continues to run at tailback. Mader blocking to the left. Jones, he really got tagged in the middle there. That's Crowell. Brian Kenny.
Ron, Colorado State and UNLV. Now watch closely. Got some trickeration here in this ball game. Bradley Van Pelt gives it to Henry Childs, and there goes Van Pelt, the quarterback, with the catch. Oh, he goes 56 yards out of bounds. No. They give him the touchdown. Now, you might be saying, didn't his hands go out of bounds before he... Well, actually, yes, it did. Touchdown stands 16-10 at the half.
And he got it on the next play anyway.
First down from the 30, and the pitch back goes to Jones. Got a host of blockers in front, and finally got to be knocked down after a gain of about 3. Adrian
Jones, the ball carrier for Florida State.
Adrian Karsten.
As far as the situation with communication is concerned, Florida State has a hardline headset system communication to the box, but not every coach on the sideline is going to get one. As far as I can tell right now, Virginia only has a wireless headset system. That means Virginia now is at the disadvantage, which means Florida State will have to take theirs off.
About to go under 12 minutes left to play in his opening half. Tied at 7. Quick look in pass, and he's got Walker. Walker got the first down as he takes it to the 43. It's a gain of 9.
That was a great catch and a pretty good throw by Chris Ricks, because Art Thomas was draped all over Javon Walker. Had it covered fairly well.
Got to talk to Ricks yesterday at the Florida State walkthrough. And he said, what they're trying to just pound into my head is quit trying to do so much. He said, I'm a competitor. Last week he tried too hard against Miami. And he said, you got talented people around you. Utilize them. When you need to throw it away, that's not a bad thing. Throw an incompletion, but don't throw an interception. Jones. And he's going to take it for about 3, maybe 4 yards. Crowell with still another tackle. 5 we have him for. 5 for Duckett, so nobody's buying right now. Stanford pulls the upset over the Oregon Ducks. Jones, nothing to the right, going to bounce it to the left. And he is going to have the first down. Jerton Evans, the junior out of Lynchburg, comes over to make the stop at the 45.
Ron, one of the things that if you're Florida State you'll be looking at here at halftime, as soon as you get a chance to visit, is the safeties on the hashes, and they're tight on the hash. So you got a chance of getting a fade down the boundary. Let's see if they go to that sometime here in the second quarter or the second half.
Here's a look at Evans. A lot of too deep on the part of Virginia. Jones noticeably limping on that carry right there. Goes inside the 40. Crowell with still another tackle.
Pretty good back. He's limping for 5. But you got to credit the offensive line now. They're knocking Virginia off the ball. Todd Williams, Holland, Milford Brown, Brett Williams. I mean, they got a pretty good group up there.
Florida State rushing tonight. Jones 9 for 62, and Maddox 7 carries for 55. Mike, there has been, as Maddox checks back in, there's been criticism of the offensive line, but I think one of the reasons for inconsistency on the offensive line has been the erratic play at quarterback.
I agree. Marambo is the center. I missed him.
Maddox tries to bounce it outside and hit with a head high tackle. That is very close to the first down inside the 35. Newby makes the stop.
And everybody in the ACC, new coaches like Al Groh and his entire staff, when they look at the ACC and they see Julius Peppers at North Carolina, they say, that's the kind of defensive lineman we need. We have to recruit those kind. I mean, he may be the best defensive lineman playing the best anybody he's playing in this country.
Well, you know, here's one that Virginia thinks is going to be very good as you look at 95, Christopher Canty. He's only a freshman out of Charlotte. 6'7", 262 pounds. Very agile.
He's got the height to put on a lot more weight, too.
But Peppers is a guy that is in a separate category. Now, he had another interception today.
Yeah.
He's got 3 on the year. There are a lot of defensive backs that don't have 3 interceptions.
Yeah, and that North Carolina coaching staff's done a good job. They could have lost their team early, but they kept them, and now they're a threat to win the ACC. So good job.
Didn't get it. You hear the crowd trying to help out the defense. They need about 6 inches. Ricks gives it to the fullback, and McCray will have it. He's a senior, 6 feet, 228 out of Jacksonville.
He's their short yardage back. He's got 14 career touchdowns, all within 3 yards. So you know when they get the ball down inside the 3, he's going to get the football. On short yardage situations like that, he's going to get the ball because he's a good, hard, low runner for a first down.
About to go under 9 minutes until halftime. 10th play of the drive for Florida State. In fact, time of possession, the number of plays is going to be very lopsided with the Seminoles running the ball the way they have. Maddox being hit by Evans. He'll have positive yardage, but again, it's at 3 yards, 4 yards, and they have the confidence they can continue to do this. And just to reiterate the point that Mike Gottfried made early on in this telecast, and that is the fact with this offensive plan that they have tonight, they're taking so much pressure off Chris Ricks.
They really are. And when would you think you'd be talking about 5 of 7 passes from Florida State midway point in the second quarter?
Well, 131 yards so far, and 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. Pressure from behind, and that's man. First time that they've gotten to him, and he did not feel the pressure.
And what Al Groh brings because of his defensive background, what he'll do, Ron, is he'll look at every tape he can find in Florida State, figure out their protection, and then figure a way to get somebody free. Now, man was blocked, but they tried to go too low on him, so he made the sack. That was McCray who missed the block on Raymond Man.
So here's the situation. 3rd down, 11 yards to pick up the first down. They need to take it to the Virginia 24. Jones comes in at tailback. Pressure from the outside. Ricks deep over the middle, intercepted at the 10-yard line by Newby. He had him open and just let the ball fly on it. 2 turnovers now against Florida State. 1 fumble and now an interception.
Newby's 3rd interception.
So we'll take a break. 7:35 remaining until halftime. Florida State 7 and Virginia 7.
The smooth ride of a luxury car, the seating capacity of a minivan, capabilities of an SUV. All in one totally innovative package. Introducing the all-new Buick Rendezvous.
What? You're expecting Igor?
Buick Rendezvous. It's all good. Get interest-free financing on every new Rendezvous. Keep America rolling.
He claims to be not human, visitor from another planet.
On October 26th.
Where is home?
K-Pax. Celebrate the possibilities.
Okay, she doesn't like it when you sneak up on her.
No way.
K-Pax, rated PG-13. At theaters Friday.
The closest shave is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Mach 3. Easy loading, easy rinsing with no clogging, and 3 blades that shave closer in 1 easy stroke. Mach 3 from Gillette.
When I wanted to start my own firm, she was there. When I wanted to buy out my partners, she was there. And when I finally wanted to retire, she was there. She's always been there for me. I want to make sure I'm always there for her.
At Lincoln Financial Group, we offer clear, understandable estate planning solutions to help you protect and preserve the work of a lifetime. Lincoln Financial Group, clear solutions in a complex world.
The over 3,300 choice hotels in the U.S. and the Caribbean just want to thank everyone for traveling again and getting back to experiencing the power of being there.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Buick. Real luxury at an affordable price. Buick. It's all good.
Welcome back to Charlottesville. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten. Great to have you along. College football. Saturday night prime time, 7:35 remaining until halftime. Chris Ricks has just thrown an interception. We'll see if it costs the Seminoles points. McGrew in motion to the top of the screen, but this is Harris. Boy, look at the pursuit, and this is very tough to do. If you're going to go wide, you better get it out there in a hurry because their pursuit is extremely quick.
Ron, let's go back to the interception. Chris Ricks. Now he has him open. Javon Walker's coming across the middle. Let's stop it now. Right there. He's wide open. The throwing lane is there. But what's going to happen is the backer's going to shuffle over as he comes across, and it's not going to be open. But he has him there. And he just lets the ball get away from him. Newby gets the interception.
2nd down and 12. Schaub in and out of the hands of Mason. Brian Kenny.
Ron, you know, we've seen some strange plays here at SportsCenter in-game just today, but here, Washington and Arizona, Charles Frederick back, gets the punt, hit by his own man, stripped of the football. Gary Love recovers for Arizona, and from there, John Makovic will give it to his quarterback, John Rattay, and Rattay's going to keep it 15-yard touchdown run, and it's all tied up now in the 3rd quarter at 21. Ron, Mike?
Washington kind of staggering right now. 3rd down and 12. Schaub back in the end zone. Gets it out here in the flat, and that one is dropped by Jonathan Ward. Wow, 2 passes that hit the receivers in their hands, and they didn't hold on. So Florida State stands to get very good field position. Mike, I can tell you this, at the first half, Florida State has over 11 minutes in drives that they have scored 0 points.
And sometimes that's a misnomer, the time of possession. But right here now, Florida State's dangerous. The old Florida State would go after this kick or return it for a touchdown. So kicking game, you got to beat FSU in the kicking game right here.
Abrams, who really hit a howitzer last time, and he boots another one. This one's going to turn over, not quite as far as the other one. From the 41-yard line is Robinson, and Robinson comes across midfield, and as suspected, the Seminoles have excellent field position. 50 yards on the boot and 13 on the return. So we'll take a timeout. 6:35 left until halftime, tied at 7.
Every time you use your Discover card, Discover will make a donation to America's relief efforts until we reach our goal of $5 million. Just by doing what you do every day, you can help the victims and families of September 11th. find out more, call 1-800-DISCOVER or go to discovercard.com.
She wore white? She put her past behind her. But you're missing the point of the story. The groom's father-in-law hires him to run the mismanaged shipping department of the family business. No honeymoon? A week in Oahu. That's nice. Not bad, but keep up. The kid turns to FedEx Ground. They give him affordable nationwide B2B delivery with a money-back guarantee. And he gives Daddy Dearest a high-quality, low-cost lesson in who's the boss.
Who is the boss?
The kid.
The kid is now the boss?
The kid is now the boss.
That's the story?
That's it.
Smash mouth football right up until kickoff.
A little football amongst friends. Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday mornings at 11 Eastern. Only on ESPN.
We are back tied at 7. Florida State trots the offense out with a first down at the Virginia 45. Golden, the defensive coordinator, we showed him running out of the booth since he couldn't have his headsets on up here, and obviously down on the sideline. Play action. Ricks under heavy pressure and going to go on top. Did he get enough air under this one? In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Thorpe. Brian Kenny, let's get an update on Nebraska.
Oh, Ron, quite a surprise here. Texas Tech hanging top, and they go 80 yards in just 4 plays. A roughing the passer play helped them out. But here Ricky Williams will run it in. Cliff Kingsbury already over 200 yards in the air, 28-28 against the Cornhuskers. South Carolina just scored, so now it's 26-14 over Vandy. That's in the 3rd.
Big matchup next week as South Carolina will travel into Knoxville to take on the Volunteers. Hope we get to see that one. Right over the middle and got this one complete to Hughes, the big tight end. And that's going to be a gain of 5 yards as he'll tackle him at the 40.
Patrick Hughes has had a pretty good first half blocking. Now they deliver a pass to him over the middle. 6'5", 253 pounds. Pretty good target. How about Seattle? Lou Piniella. I like what he did.
He called the shot.
He woke his team up. Now they're not back there yet, but he woke his team up.
3rd down. They need about 2.5 yards to get the first down. 1 of 4 on the night in 3rd down conversions. And they swing it out of the backfield, and that's Maddox running free at the 20, and missed tackle there. Maddox is gonna score. Touchdown Florida State, 37 yards. And how many?
They say he's out of bounds over out about the 12-yard line.
Whoa. Well, that 12th defender had to make the stop because the other 11 couldn't. 25 yards in the pass play.
I think this is a good call by the official. He was tight roping the line over there. Newby's trying to get after him. Yep, close. Right there, he had his foot on the line.
First and 10, the ball just outside the 10-yard line. And it's Maddox again. Little stop and start action. Good open field tackle by Chris Williams that time.
Chris Williams has had a pretty good first half, too. Backup safety made a good play on that.
Clock running, 5:12, now 5:11 until intermission.
Defense has been on the field most of the first half.
36 plays, time of possession 16:30, and that's growing. They don't care about the clock right now. They just want to keep running it up the field and put it in the end zone, going in leading at halftime if possible. Short drop, fade route, and intercepted. Just the man that Mike was talking about, Chris Williams. And I'm a little surprised at that call because they're running the football, and all of a sudden that's 3 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, and you don't throw a fade pass inside. You throw it outside. And Javon Walker, watch this ball, is going to go right inside. And when it goes inside, it gives the safety, Chris Williams, a chance to make a play.
Point well taken. If it's outside, the defensive back would have been completely turned around.
Playing this month on Dish on Demand pay-per-view.
Where did you get this stuff from me? I can't feel my face. This is business.
Hello. Is this Clarice? Oh, hello, Clarice.
They're all dirty, but I need your help to prove it.
Promise I would always be my brother's keeper.
I am a hostage?
Oh, no! El Camino. Tonight, pick up your remote instead of your car keys. Order a pay-per-view movie from Dish on Demand.
Dish Entertainment Magazine brings home the best in entertainment to keep you tuned into all of your favorite programs. From sci-fi to drama, to mystery, to comedy, we'll show you a world of entertainment that's open to you. It's not just entertainment, but a complete listing of all your favorite programs and networks scheduled on the Dish Network. There's something for everyone, and best of all, it's only $3.95 per month. To order, call 1-800-333-DISH today. Dish Entertainment Magazine. Don't stay home without it.
Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon.
I knew, I just didn't want you to know.
Two guys with a lot on their minds.
We've got issues. Shaq and Kobe didn't get along.
I don't like you, and we're going to have to do this show together.
Now they're teaming up for Pardon the Interruption.
Nice name.
A new show on ESPN.
Sports and other stuff.
We're fat, we're bald, we're old, we're white.
And one of us is blind.
Pardon the Interruption, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, weekdays on ESPN. And again at 7 on ESPN2.
It's not pretty.
Now, Chris Williams on the sideline, and he is excited as he talks to his teammates because that's the second interception of the night that Ricks has thrown. And although there was a fumble back in the early going.
They've been their worst enemy. I mean, they stopped themselves.
You talked about Ricks threw the ball inside rather than outside, but I'm not so sure what the receiver may have run the wrong route also.
He got too far inside. He needed to fade outside, too.
Schaub. Flag is down. It's caught by Lazard, the big tight end.
It's going to come back.
25 yards, but you see the flag is against Virginia.
Jameis Jones, number 74, is going to get the call going against him.
Hands to the face on the offense. 10 yards. Half a distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
Good explosion by Eric Moore, number 55. There's a call on Jones. Now Virginia's got to get it out of here.
Virginia 5 penalties, 52 yards. They are very high on Eric Moore, only a freshman out of Pahokee, Florida. But they think that he is going to turn into one of those fire breathers off the edge like they are accustomed to having.
And they missed that this year. They don't have that so far this season.
Pearman turns the corner, but only short yardage. Kendall Pope will make the tackle, the sophomore out of Lake City.
We talked about Tennessee with quarterbacks, other schools with linebackers. That's their signature, those outside rushers that just roar up the football field.
Clock runs about to go under 4 minutes left until halftime. And there'll be a lot of talk in both locker rooms about A, turnovers, B, penalties.
And Florida State would like to hold Virginia here. They still have 2 timeouts. They could get the ball back and try one more time to get in that end zone.
Pearman across the 20 and out to the 22-yard line. Jennings making the tackle.
Now, this is a big play, Ron, because Virginia's defense has been on the field the entire first half. They need a first down here bad.
Well, if they're going to pick it up, they have to take it to the 30-yard line. And Florida State still has plenty of working time. They have 2 timeouts left. Clock runs 3:19 and moving.
The guy they like on first downs are to change the sticks is Chris Lazar, number 81.
The big tight end at 6'7". Let's see if they go to him. Right over the middle, and that's who they wanted, but the pass was thrown too tall. It'll stop the clock, and Florida State will get the ball back. Dockett put Schaub on his backside.
The good thing about those statistics is Florida State knows them too. You know, they know that they're going to go to the tight end and try to get the ball to Chris Lazar.
5th punt of the evening now. They got a lot of pressure and in fact overran to the side the punter on the last attempted punt, and they did not get the block. Let's see if they try to come and get it again. Abrams waiting for the snap back at the 7-yard line, and they're coming after him, and he got it away. This is a beauty. Abrams really putting on a show tonight. All the way back to the 24-yard line is Robinson. And Robinson is going to be tackled at the 25. 54 yards in the kick and 11 on the return for the psych major who has graduated. And he's doing a psych job in the Seminoles tonight. A reminder, tomorrow morning on ESPN, Week 6 of Sunday NFL Countdown. Chris Berman with the game, breaking down the Ravens defense, how to protect the Rams quarterback Kurt Warner, and Jerome Bettis, in his own words, the bus keeps rolling. 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Ron, one of the things that they're going to talk about at halftime, Florida State's been close on 2 punts. I thought they had that one too.
I did too.
But they've been getting a lot of penetration. Here you see, you know, they're getting a lot of people up that field. They're so close to blocking a punt.
Jones, short yardage. He'll take it to around the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. Abrams is having a good time tonight, and I can understand why. Really nice young fellow. Got to visit with him at practice on Thursday, and he talked about how important it would be for this young Virginia team with the new coaching staff to beat Florida State this evening.
He better get some more protection in the second half. He needs some help.
Greg Jones, you see the blockers, and nice job defensively by the Cavaliers. 34, that is Duckett. Brian Kenny will check with you.
Here on coming up the Saturn halftime report, we'll check in with the League Championship Series in baseball. Mariners saying, not so fast, my friends, to the Bronx Bombers. Chris Lee and Kirk will be here as well. That's where I get that. Joe Paterno, a surprising afternoon, and we'll have the rest of the day in the ACC. That SportsCenter in-game coming up at the half.
Our clock is running with 1:50 showing until halftime. Tied at 7, and Florida State confronted with a 3rd down.
Delay a game.
On the offense, 5 yards, he picks down.
Ron, just that movement that you saw there. Safeties up, linebackers moving around, redshirt freshman quarterback lost track of the clock.
Well, as long as he's been around the game, he has shown an immense amount of patience. But it has to be wearing thin with continued mental errors like this. Got him open. That is Walker. And Walker is loose all the way down to the 20-yard line. Tackled by Thomas, 58 yards.
Now they had protection on this play. They gave him enough time to find Javon Walker on a post corner. He ran inside. They bit on the move a little bit. You see the protection right here. They don't get to him. See the corner route. Works inside against Art Thomas. Gets free outside. Chris Ricks with a good throw.
Newby was coming over to help, but he was in another zip code when that ball was caught. Under a minute left until halftime. Ricks is going to keep the ball. I don't know who blew the play. He was looking to hand the ball off, and the back had already gone through.
Yeah, Darrell Sanders, 7 tackles last week against North Carolina, and 2 quarterback sacks. He was right in there before Chris Ricks could do anything with the football.
So there's a timeout. Florida State has 1 remaining, and will take it with them. Tied at 7. right back.
The arts are alive and thriving at the University of Virginia.
We're expanding our programs, we're expanding our collections, and we're expanding our facilities for the arts.
As an artist or an arts lover, it's a great time to be in Charlottesville.
The campaign for the University of Virginia, making its mark.
When the Navy sought a power source for a new generation of ship, we had the right energy. When the nation called for better hurricane forecasting, conditions here were perfect. And when a life-saving cancer drug was in short supply, we had the right chemistry. How fast do ideas move? At the speed of imagination. Florida State University, ideas that move.
We're tied at 7. The answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question. We'll get it to you in just a moment. You can get a chance to look at the question, but they're at the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. And Ricks got him open, got it complete. Inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5 is Gardner. What was the last team other than Florida State to finish a season with a perfect ACC record? It was Maryland. 6-0 record in 1985. The answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question. And there it is. First and goal from the 5. Clock runs 23, now 22 seconds. Puts it in the stomach of McCray, and McCray is going to be stopped at the 3. They're going to have to get a timeout here. They called the timeout, and I believe that is Florida State's final timeout. Mike, do you bring Bethea on, or do you run one more play?
I think you try to throw in the end zone here. But as I say that's the proper call. But when you have a quarterback erratic like Chris Ricks has been, you might think about taking the 3 points, but I think you try to throw the fade here to the wide side of the field, which is down here to the left, or try to hit a post, quick slant, because it looks like they're overplaying the fade, so maybe you get the quick slant.
"13 seconds showing on the clock tonight."
Yeah, inside the 20, when you see the success, they win. 2 losses. They weren't down there much.
Well, 3 turnovers tonight. 1 fumble, 2 interceptions. 1 touchdown pass has been thrown, and they visit with Jeff Bowden on the far sideline, the offensive coordinator for the Seminoles.
Here's what he's saying to Chris Ricks: don't get sacked. Throw the ball away. Don't throw an interception. You know, get rid of this ball. Wide side of the field, Ron. I figure they're going to throw over here. They got trips to this side.
That's Gardner, the man at the bottom of the screen, number 21.
See what Al Groh did? He looked at the formation now. We're going to try to figure out what Florida State had called. He still has 2 timeouts left.
On Monday on the 6 p.m. Sports Center, it's a much anticipated release of the first BCS standings of the season. Who's going to be number 1? Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, and Tony Barnhart will be on hand to answer those questions, and also to ask a few questions of their own. It's a special 90-minute edition of Sports Center, Monday at 6 Eastern Time.
Al Groh needs a big play out of his defense here. What they had shown on the last formation, 3 wide receivers to one side, where you figure you could get a pick against man coverage. Now you got a 1 receiver to the top, so he's going to look and see if he's got the one-on-one fade on that top side.
So the chess match continues. Trainers are coming off the field, and the crowd is up, and they are cheering as we have only 13 ticks left on the clock. And here comes Chris Ricks back on the field. And the red redshirt freshman from the state of California convert on this big second down and goal.
Same formation, Ron. Now you do have one-on-one up here.
From the shotgun. Ball was tipped, and Crowell, there's a flag down, but I think since Crowell tipped it, that flag is going to be picked up.
Yeah, sometimes the back judge can't see it's tipped. He just watches pass interference. We'll see how they call it, or whether they're going to call holding though.
Mike, you're right, and I think what they're asking right now, did the hit or the hold occur before the ball was touched?
See, what happened there is they had the fade covered, so they came back to the slant, trying to get the defensive back to open up and give away the slant.
Ball was tipped by the defense, therefore wave off the flag.
Pretty good coverage right here. Playing him to the inside. The ball's tipped. Art Thomas, Angelo Crowell with the tip. He's all over the place.
I'm telling you. So Florida State with 10 seconds showing on the clock. They're going to run one more play to see if they can get it in the end zone before they bring on the kicking team.
I think they might still try to go the fade over here. You got a bunch set over here to the left.
Ricks fade route to the right and incomplete. Defensively, Art Thomas was there, and Walker couldn't hold on to it.
Now you got to kick the field goal, but you had 2 tries, though. So you took 2 tries at it. Al Grove's defense was up to it, and now you settle for the 3, and that's not automatic. Here's the fade. Tried to bite him on the slant, tried to come back with a fade. Needed to put a little bit more air on it. Art Thomas, good coverage.
But with this attempt, it's going to be from 21 yards. And he got it. As the clock runs out, and we are at halftime. Now they head to the locker room with Florida State on top. But a little bit of a moral victory if you're Virginia because of that stop defensively.
Big moral victory.
Let's check quickly with Adrian Karsten. Adrian.
Coach, has to be a frustrating first half for you. Yes, your quarterback is inexperienced. You got to settle for 3 long drives. You get up, well, really nothing but turnovers.
Yeah, again, you throw a fade, you think it's as safe as play as you got, and you throw it inside. It's an interception. We're learning, and we got to learn a lot quicker.
All right, the learning you do in the second half, you're about to teach us. Do you run to protect Chris Ricks here in the second half? Go back to the running game.
Got to mix it up. We mixed it up pretty good at first. We just simply have to mix it up better. We can't go out there and make a living just throwing or just running. We got to mix it up.
Thank you, Coach. Ron.
All right, Adrian, great hustle down there, halftime. And as they head to the locker room, our score is Florida State 10 and the homestanding Virginia Cavaliers 7. Let's send it to Brian Kenny in the studio.
Ron, thank you very much. Saturn halftime report. Now, Nebraska gets Oklahoma in Lincoln next week, but hold on. Don't go there yet. Texas Tech, who beat K-State going away last week, at the half tied up with Nebraska. Cliff Kingsbury, nearly 200 yards of passing in the first half alone. Wes Walker with an 85-yard punt return. So that's one of the scores we're charting right now. South Carolina, Lou Holtz coming off their first loss of the year, leading Vandy. Now they're sprinting out a bit, 32-14. And again, Arizona and Washington all tied up 21-21. Now with Florida State's loss last week, the nation's longest home winning streak going to Oregon, and they make it 24 in a row. That's against Stanford. Joe Paterno looking for the record. Why is this man smiling all of a sudden? And Woody Dantzler came in a Heisman frontrunner, but we'll have days like this. We'll have that, Chris Lee and Kirk as well. Stay with us.
Unscripted with Chris Connolly premieres Monday at 5 on ESPN.
The smooth ride of a luxury car. The seating capacity of a minivan. Capabilities of an SUV. All in one totally innovative package. Introducing the all-new 2002 Buick Rendezvous.
What? You were expecting Igor?
Buick Rendezvous. It's all good.
No matter who you are or what you're into, isn't it nice to know you'll be accepted.
That's why the Redskins' biggest fans, the Hogettes, make sure to bring their Visa cards to the Forecast Boutique. Visa, the official card of the NFL.
Do I look fat in this dress? Yes.
Want a job that makes you happy? Post your resume now. Monster.com.
You the monster.
This is Bowflex, an entire gym in one easy-to-use machine. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. One simple workout. 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Bowflex is real. The results are real. Call right now for a free video and brochure. Bowflex, the power is yours.
Welcome to SportsCenter In-Game. Time for the Saturn Halftime Report.
First 4 innings at Yankee Stadium this afternoon look like a typical Yankee win, a 3-zip lead, and Clemens going on Sunday.
Florida State 10 and Virginia 7. Code Red, first half stats, and here are the numbers. Time of possession for Florida State is huge, but the number right below that also is huge. 3 turnovers.
I think when you look at the 3 turnovers and then you look at the 16 yards rushing for Virginia, those are the 2 that stick out. 2 plays for Virginia over 10 yards, so they haven't got any big plays in this ball game. And McMullen, their leading receiver, and the guy that's been the take charge guy, 0 catches in the first half.
Stein to kick it off, and we are underway here in the second half. Going to be Mason about 5 yards deep, and he will not return it. Game track, Florida State, 3 turnovers, pass that was thrown late and behind the receiver, and a missed opportunity for points. And then Walker with the touchdown reception. And then it was Pearman, and he was not going to be stopped from the end zone. Hurdled and went in 19 yards on that touchdown pass.
I think Florida State's headsets have gone out again. And they will make the rounds over to Virginia.
Oh, well, we got a break in the action moments ago. Adrian Karsten had a talk with Al Groh as he came out of the locker room.
Coach, did you honestly expect to be within 3 points of Florida State coming back in the second half?
Well, I wouldn't be much coach if I didn't say I thought we could be. You know, the game has to go a certain way for us. They've obviously got us outmanned in some spots. They're a huge team. I would expect that we're going to have to stay in the onslaught. They'll probably try to physically power us in this quarter, try to wear us down. But, yeah, we came to win, okay? What we got to do now, Adrian, is raise our level of expectations and not think that this is good enough.
Good luck in the second half.
So Al Groh just a moment ago, and we have had more problems than we can say grace over as far as the headsets tonight, and it's a stoppage of play that when one cannot hear, obviously the rule dictates that the other team has to take their headsets off, so everybody has to be notified.
Al Golden is in shape tonight because he left in the first half and ran down to the field. He's gone again.
Schaub starts the second half at quarterback, gets it out to McMullen. First catch of the night for the big 6'4" receiver out of Richmond, and Samuels is there to make the tackle. There's that play I was talking about where you get the blocker out in front, get the ball quickly thrown.
Like a toss sweep, you know, when you get the ball to your best running back or receiver and get him outside. Well, nothing is more frustrating to a coach than to lose the phones.
2 tight end set for Virginia. Pearman in motion. Everybody out on this one, right up in the middle, and that's Pearman. Same play, is it not, that they scored on?
Yeah, same play, Ron, and you look for him to go to it a little bit more, even change up a back and a tight end. Alvin Pearman coming out of the backfield wide open because everybody's running with those wide receivers. First true freshman to start since 1988. Al Godin didn't know it was going to be a track night.
Al, in case you didn't know, is the young defensive coordinator for the Virginia Cavaliers. And the minute that they have to take off the headsets, he doesn't do any good 100 yards up here in the air, and maybe not 100 yards, but way off the field. He has to go down to the sideline. Did it in the first half, and now has done it again here in the second half. Shaw hit just as he throws the ball, and that was very dangerous as Emmanuel was really coming and putting some pressure on the youngster.
Kevin Emmanuel, 6'4", 246, coming off the corner, beating the block of the tackle on that side.
You know, it's interesting on Schaub. His dad taught him how to throw. In the 4th grade, he became a quarterback. And he's been a quarterback ever since. He's never played any other position. Throws this one away, and very smartly. Good pressure this time coming from Charles Howard. And that was about to be a coverage sack, so we just threw it away.
The leading receiver on this Virginia team, the leading receiver in the ACC. Here's his stats tonight. One-on-one coverage 13 times. Now, there could have been some runs in there. Double covered, I'm sure, in passing situations, 11. Thrown to only 2 times.
Third down. And they need to take it to the 49-yard line, their own 49, to keep this one alive. They fake the pitch. Everybody stays at home, gets it out to Lazard, the tight end. That's going to be well short. Well played by Michael Boulware.
Excellent job, Ron, by the linebacker Boulware. He's had 1 interception this year. He stayed right with the tight end. Sees him crossing. Now makes him play on him.
So here comes Abrams again. He had an outstanding first half, but he also had a lot of pressure on him. And they come after him again, and he gets this one away. Not going to be as far as some of the others, and Florida State players collide, and a flag comes down.
And that's going to get the attention of the Virginia bench. They're going to call it off after further review. All the field judges in the stands said no penalty.
Well, they collided and the ball went down, but the truth of the matter is the defensive player was within the halo.
And the referee now is now they're back on. What we need is an electrician.
Well, one's a hard line, Florida State. That means there is a direct line, and the other one is the wireless. And it's the hard line, and one keeps going up, which is really kind of strange. Maddox. And he's going to have about 3 yards, maybe 4.
Sure, Bobby Bowden talked to his football team and said, we got to go back out and establish the run. And that's what they're going to do here early in the 3rd quarter.
Now, Crowell with another tackle, and he continues to mount the numbers. He has 10. And Duckett, I think right now, Duckett's going to have to pay if the game were to end right now. Duckett has 7.
Crowell is going to get to his average, 12.
That's right, just over. What, 12.7. That's an amazing number. Another reverse it out. They pull the guard to come with him, and now he runs into his own man trying to get out of bounds. And looks at who's that's Hughes. Hughes was out there trying to block for him, and then they collided. Watch him pull the guard to get protection for him. And I think he was looking for Hughes, I guess, wasn't he?
He was looking to throw the ball down the field, but he ran into his own man.
Yeah. Hughes got the worst end of that.
Hughes said, I can't believe this. I'm out in the pass route and get run over by the quarterback.
Third down, and they need to take it to the 34. Crowell coming on the blitz. He is left alone. Ball is tipped in, knocked away. Trying to get it to Gardner.
Angelo Crowell, Ron, leveled Chris Ricks, and that's the reason this play didn't work.
Winborn is the man who was there defensively, but here comes Crowell, and he's the one who caused the play.
Again, you talk about a back was supposed to pick him up. Nick Maddox, number 20, was supposed to pick him up. Angelo Crowell couldn't do it.
Waltby, they shift into punt formation. Very high, good coverage kick. Back to the 24. Wow, great coverage. He's going to be hit. He'll lose almost 5 yards on this play. It's Pearman who received it. There is a flag down. 46 on the kick and a loss of 5 on the return.
Well, Eric Moore with good coverage to make that tackle. This is going to be a personal foul, maybe on both teams. It's going to definitely be after the kick. May go one way against FSU.
So the penalty is going to push it out to the 40-yard line. We'll take a timeout. 13-16 left in the third quarter. Seminoles by 3.
The smooth ride of a luxury car. The seating capacity of a minivan. Capabilities of an SUV. All in one totally innovative package. Introducing the all-new Buick Rendezvous.
What? You're expecting Igor?
Buick Rendezvous. It's all good. Get interest-free financing on every new Rendezvous. Keep America rolling.
She's not your daughter. But if you give her a ride home after school, she might as well be. Carpooling on the wings of Goodyear.
Want a job that makes you happy? Post your resume now. Monster.com.
You the monster. Get down in the dirt. Get down on the dunes. Get down on the trail. Get your monthly payments way down. Get down. As low as $69 a month and no down payment with a Honda card. Get down. Or get low 6.9% financing and no down payment on any new Honda ATV. Get down-to-earth deals now at your Honda dealer.
10-7 our scores. You get a good look at the rotunda, which Jefferson made famous. 13-16 left in our third quarter. And it is Virginia getting very good field position following a kick that was almost 60 yards, but then a personal foul called against the Seminoles. So the penalty has moved it out to the 39.5-yard line. Again, Virginia, I formation and 2 tight ends. It's Ward in motion. Schaub's pass knocked away, and he waited just a count too late. Lazar was open, but he waited. That's Jennings who came over and made a nice defensive play.
Backers do a good job of looking up the tight end on misdirection pass plays here. Chris Lazar's coming across, and you'll see the linebackers look him up. but the ball is underthrown. Bradley Jennings comes back, and the frustration on Chris Lazar's face. That's the one thing they haven't been able to get the ball down the field passing wise.
Jennings, a senior out of Miami, 6'3", 247, who made that play. Again, Ward in motion, but they run that direction this time. And Pearman with a head of steam. Flag goes down. Now a second flag comes in. The face mask, Howard. They're going to call it on him. So even if it's only a 5-yard variety, it's going to give Virginia another first down.
A great block by Kevin Bailey.
Brian Kenny, we'll check with you again.
Ron, we go to the Pac-10. Washington had its winning streak snapped last week and now trying to avoid a losing streak here for Arizona. Clarence Farmer, 17 yards, looking for their first Pac-10 win of the year. It's 28-21, 5 and change left. And Nebraska and Texas Tech, still a battle there. 38-31, Cornhuskers up on top of the third.
I'll bet Oklahoma's going to look at that tape very closely.
If they're having that much problem with that offense this week, they may have to turn it up a notch for next week. That offense is going to be run very well. Shaw, they set the screen, actually waiting for the delay and Pearman to get out of the backfield. Jennings was there on the cover again. From high above, these pictures are from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes. Each year the Goodyear Blimp visits over 100 communities and participates in dozens of telecasts at major sporting events.
Ron, that last play is a little adjustment by Mickey Andrews. They hit Pearman across the middle there a couple times, and he had a linebacker and a safety on him on that play. Pearman, number 21, was covered.
He comes to the sideline to catch his breath. Arlen Harris, number 33, replaces him at tailback. Schaub's pass drills this one complete to McMullen. Second catch on the night for the big guy. And it's Howard who makes the tackle.
And I like what Al Gross said about McMullen. He said the closer the ball gets to him, the more impressive he gets. And you can see he snatches this football out of the air. Al Gross said he's got great big hands. He just snatches the ball.
Pearman comes back in. It's Pearman in motion, so it's an empty backfield for Shaw. Pumps, going to go on top. Went for the fake and roll. Just a little too far. Heavy pressure from Eric Moore, that freshman out of Pahokee.
And there's an adjustment by Al Groh and Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, because all of a sudden they try to get Abdul Howard to bite on that quick throw outside. They had him. Here's the pump. You're going to see number 12, Abdul Howard, break up. Now he's open, just overthrew. Overthrew him.
Abdul breathing a sigh of relief after that pass was thrown just a little too far. That's Case Lazar, the younger brother who was in motion, and this running play by Pearman's only going to go for maybe a yard. Darnell Dockett pulled him down, sophomore out of the state of Maryland, out of Burtonsville.
Ron, Florida State's defense have been very, very impressive stopping the run tonight. Now, we used to look at Mickey Andrews' defense and say nobody could run against them. They used to be in the top. Now this season they're 28th. Last season they were number 2. So people are starting to try to figure a way to run the ball against them. Not tonight.
Intercepted by Jennings. Well, I think he was down, but for good measure, he just wanted to make sure he got on the football. So Virginia turns it over on a situation where they're driving the football, and Mickey Andrews over on the far sideline with a lot of pats on the head for his defensive personnel.
This is the same pass they hit, the in route, the dig route. And Bradley Jennings was waiting for Billy McMullen to come into the middle and pick that pass off.
So we'll see if the Seminoles can capitalize and take advantage of a Virginia turnover. Greg Jones gets the pitch. Blockers in front, bounces off one, and still fighting, and that's Pope, Monsanto Pope, who was holding on for dear life. Then Crowell came over to help him out. Schaub 6 of 9, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. That was in the first quarter. Since then, 5 of 15 at 31 yards, 1 pick. And those are the adjustments that Mike was referring to. Blitz coming off the corner. Jones runs right where the blitz was, and somebody got just enough of him. Evans got just a piece of him. He headed down. It's going to be a 19-yard run. It'll be a first down, and now the Seminoles moving the football very well on the ground.
Greg Jones looks to me like he's hurt, still his ankle. He looks like he's limping for big yardage here, but they can't stop him. 243 pounds.
Fake the pitch. Nice job, Duckett. John Duckett stayed at home. As you saw him fake the pitch, flow going to the right. And Ricks did a good job of just making sure he held on to the football.
Yeah, he really did. John Duckett was fullback last season, moved to linebacker in the spring. Came into this game second in tackles on this football team. He's been a good football player for Al Groh, and a lot of times coaching changes. You move guys around, you find a star.
Well, he's enjoying it, having a lot of fun. Crowell now with 10 tackles, Duckett with 8. Jones comes to the other side, and he's being caressed by Staminich. Brian Kenny, let's check with you again.
Ron to the SEC, LSU and Mississippi State. LeBrandon Tofield already with nearly 50 yards on the ground here early in the second quarter. Going in 7-yard touchdown run there at 7-0. Washington has a field goal in that Pac-10 game that's so tight. It's now 28-24, less than 4 minutes to go. Ron, Mike?
Boy, if Washington loses 2 in a row, that would be huge. That means they would, as close as that race is going to be out there, you're gone with 2, would you say?
Yeah.
Riggs, beautiful throw to Walker. Walker inside the 30, fighting his way inside the 21, or inside the 25, I should say. Going to be a gain of 12 on that pass play.
Now you talk about Chris Ricks, and we've seen him throw a couple picks here tonight, but this is what the coaches, Jeff Bowden.
And now here comes a late flag. Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
No, that's fine. And you see him throw the post route the way you're supposed to throw it. So there's a lot of good with this quarterback right now. You just got to wait it out.
Personal foul called against Virginia.
Here's the throw, Ron, and just a perfect ball on the post to Javon Walker. Good protection. See it from a different angle. Now that's the play that he got the ball picked off on. He waited too long on the interception. He hit him right out of the break on that pass play.
Well, the penalty is stepped off, as you can see. Both teams pushing and shoving. Maddox comes back in a tailback, and the line of scrimmage is the 12 of Virginia. Under 9 minutes to play. Blitz coming from the corner. Jones, Maddox right up the middle, inside the 5, and he's down to the 4-yard line. John Duckett records his 9th tackle of the night. Florida State leads it and trying to make that a 10-point lead. Monsanto, Pope and company trying to dig in and stop this drive by the Noles. Running play, nothing at right tackle, and Maddox really got slapped down hard. It looks like Robertson and Crowell combining on the stop. Also, Jerton Evans.
There's a good hit right there. And McCray's coming into the ball game, Ron, so you figure down here about the 3 or 4 yard line, he's been very dangerous in the past. Now, his longest run is 3 yards, so they may not give it to him here. They say it's on the 3, so look for McCray.
8th play of the drive. Everybody in that end zone to the south where Florida State is moving, standing and cheering. Pitch goes back to Maddox, turns it up and stopped at about the 1/2 yard line. John Duckett will get credit for the tackle.
Good hard run by Nick Maddox. Down to about the 1.
Mike, he's really taken some shots tonight. You remember back in the first half, he got his mouthpiece knocked out. He got it knocked out again right there. He really absorbed some blows.
Ron, now do you give it to the fullback, number 15?
Probably so.
Right here.
Yep, they give it to McCray. Touchdown.
Got a nose for the end zone.
Senior out of Jacksonville scores it.
His 15th career touchdown.
And all of them 3 yards or less. Sabied Bethea comes in to attempt the extra point. He is right down the middle. So it's 7 minutes, 6 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Our new score is Florida State 17 and Virginia 7. We'll be right back.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
We should get that home equity loan.
It's the Hendersons.
Hartrick Bank's on the job, too.
We need a lower rate.
Want banks to compete for your home equity loan? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
Guys, switch to Mach 3. 3 blades for the closest shave in a single stroke. You'll love the difference. And so will we. Mach 3. From Gillette.
We should get out of here, now!
This film has been given an R rating for horror, violence, gore, nudity, and some language. So be warned. From the producers of House on Haunted Hill, 13 Ghosts, rated R. Starts Friday.
Tony Kornheiser, Michael Robon. Pardon the interruption. 5:30 p.m. Eastern, weekdays on ESPN. And again at 7 on ESPN2.
PTI.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Located on the web at MBUSA.com.
Charlottesville, Virginia. Big matchup in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Florida State, number 22 team in the nation right now with a 10-point margin. So the penalty and also the turnover causing the Cavaliers to give up a touchdown. Mason, you look into his eyes, number 16, as Stein is about to kick it off. And he'll return this one from the 6. To the 33. Tomorrow morning on ESPN, Week 6 of Sunday NFL Countdown. Chris Berman and the gang with Ricky Williams and the Saints offensive line. What it takes to play receiver for Brett Favre, and inside the chaotic world of the 40-second clock. 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Florida State has turned this Virginia offense into one dimension.
Anderson in motion there. Right over the middle. Got Lazard, the tight end. And he gets gang tackled after a gain of about 7 on the play. Pope and also Hudson combining on the stop for Florida State.
We talked last year about Tennessee being young, and you better get them last year. Well, you better get these guys this year. 8 sophomores on defense starting tonight, starting to build a little depth. They had so many injuries, Ron. So many things happened in the off season. This football team got whittled down.
Swings this one out and got it to Pearman. And that is a really nice tackle by Rufus Brown. One-on-one, and he didn't let him get by him.
Nope, and that's what the job of the corner is, to make sure if the ball does come out there, you make a sure tackle. Because if you don't, it's going to be 15, 20, 25 yards.
That's right, which means that your pursuit angle has better be right on, or all of a sudden you get faked, and like you said, there's a lot of room to run.
That's all those drills with tackling, fundamentals, all comes back to that.
McMullen coming over to the sideline, and a trainer has come over to meet him. We'll check and see what happened. Shaw under heavy pressure. He's going to be sacked way back inside the 30 by Charles Howard.
We talked about the thing that Florida State hasn't shown as defensive ends, but tonight, these guys, Charles Howard, Eric Moore, Kevin Emanuel, have really played well.
And officially, that's the first sack on Schaub. So it means that Abrams will have to do his chore again. And this time Florida State has a return on it, and it's his worst kick of the night. Fair catch is called for and made at the 38 by Robinson. Got to be a 36-yard boot. And there's a timeout, 4:59 left, third quarter. Seminoles by 10.
The bow. Resistance becomes strength. Becomes power. The power to change and reshape your entire body. This is Bowflex, an entire gym-in-one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance in any room in your home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. One simple workout. 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. Bowflex is real. The results are real. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Call right now for a free video and brochure. Bowflex, the power is yours.
Sunday on ESPN Classic. Sometimes the only thing worth fighting for,
I gotta do something for my boy,
is love.
All I want is to be with you.
John Voight, Faye Dunaway, and Ricky Schroeder
Can't wake up. Wake up.
star in a real classic, The Champ. 9 p.m. Sunday, only on ESPN Classic. To get real, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Students at the Mud House Cafe. Time for a little chess. And then the students on the hill in the north end zone. In there by the thousands tonight on a very pleasant evening. 10-point lead by the Seminoles. Greg Jones, the tailback, and they give it to him again. And Jones, well, he gets turned completely around. Newby came up for this free safety position and hit him first. Brian Kenny will check with you again.
Ron, that magic is back. Washington and Arizona. Cody Pickett. This is a quarterback who is questionable, playing with a separated shoulder on third down, final seconds. Brings it in himself. Washington 31-28. That is now a final. And Colorado State right now, less than 2 minutes to go. They've got a 2-point lead on UNLV. Ron, Mike?
UNLV's had a disappointing year.
Play action by Ricks. Up the near sideline. Good heavens, wide open to Sam. And PK Sam, the freshman out of Buford, Georgia, pushed out of bounds by Thomas. But Thomas is the man that they have picked on for big yardage tonight. Adrian Carson, what do you have for us?
I have injuries for Virginia's offense, and they're important, significant ones. First of all, Tyree Foreman out of the game with an injury to his left hip. He will not play anymore. Now, Billy McMillan just took his shoulder pads off to get treatment on bruised ribs to his right side. He's putting on what's practically called a flak jacket to keep those ribs high and tight. But remember, the way he catches balls, he puts those arms so high in the air, he leaves himself vulnerable for a hit right there.
He really does, Adrian. And being 6'4", he's got more target area there in the middle. Running play again by Jones, just following the pile, and he muscles his way to the 24. John Duckett makes the stop.
A good hard running again by Greg Jones, and can't say enough about the offensive line of Florida State. They've opened up a lot of holes tonight and protected Chris Ricks.
Virginia coming off the corner with the blitz. The running play goes straight ahead, and Stamanich is right there in the hole, number 91, to stop it for a very short gain, and I don't think they got the first down. Going to be close.
What you see in this ball club, a club that's coming around, and there's enough good things with Chris Ricks that you got to wait him out. He does some very good things. Now, he makes some mistakes trying to force the ball in, but that'll come with time. And Greg Jones gives you a hard running back, and then Nick Maddox gives you a speed back.
Bobby Bowden said he really likes Ricks. He said, but the one thing you have to understand, you can't teach maturity. It has to be gathered through experience. Jones weaves his way. Gain of a couple. Crowell making the tackle. It seems as though that Crowell and Duckett have just done the lion's share of the work on that side. I shouldn't just say there's some other guys that have played well, but as far as being there to make the tackle, those two guys have been the leaders this evening.
And go back to what you said about Ricks. It's game experience, too. You can practice all you want, but you still got to perform once they turn the lights on and put the silk uniforms on.
The big Todd Williams came out of his stance, and when you're 6'6", 315, it's hard to disguise even a small amount of movement. Todd is a junior out of Bradenton. That one should have been intercepted. Curry first, and then it got tipped over, and Newby had a shot at it.
And that's where you say, woo. You know what? What did he see? There was no receiver out there. There's a break, but where he throws it, I mean, it's heavily covered. Sam was the receiver, number 81. He's trying to get the corner route, which he's got all night, but Sam gave up on the route, too. Curry with good coverage.
So it's third down. They need to take it to the 12-yard line of Virginia. They want to keep this one going. Florida State 5 of 10 in the night on third down conversions. Had him open and almost intercepted by Newby.
Had Nick Maddox down the seam. Raymond Mann, number 47, almost got to Chris Ricks before he got that ball off.
It looked like the blocker, who was there to pick up Mann, slipped and couldn't get to him in time.
It's called the lookout block.
Bethia with the field goal attempt of 42 yards. He missed one from 42 earlier in the first half. This one got distance, and this time he has accuracy, and he knocks it home from 42. So with 2:07 left, third quarter, the new score, Florida State 20 and Virginia 7. Adrian Karsten, what do you got for us there, big guy?
I have the Ask Adrian website, and Josh from Auburn, Alabama wants me to go check out the old University of Virginia dorms lining the quad with special attention to the one that Edgar Allan Poe lived in. Well, Josh, a couple things you got to understand. Here at Thomas Jefferson's University, you never live in the dorms lining the quad. You live on the grounds, on the lawn. And in Mr. Jefferson's vision of the Popian academical village, Poe actually lived on the range. Shortly, I hope to give you a full explanation. Actually, take a tour, Ron.
Okay, we look forward to that. Just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter. And Rick's on the bench across the way as his team comes up with 3 on that drive. Stein will kick it off, and again, it's Mason who is the deep man for the Virginia Cavaliers.
You think that guy that called that question in to ask Adrian was a relative of Edgar Allan Poe to ask that? You don't know.
I have no idea. That's the only thing I don't have a note on here tonight, Mike, I think. Stein's kick. And Mason, this one returnable from the 5-yard line. Got a seam, breaks a tackle, and gets what he can and goes down at the 30. Number 16, well, Bobby Bowden trying to catch up with some very impressive folks there. Joe Pa with 323 with a win today. If he wins tonight, he will be tied with Pop Warner for 319 victories. And right now, with 1:56 left to play in the third quarter, a 13-point margin. McGrew in motion, short drop, quick pass, and that is in and out of the hands of Mason.
Well, they dropped at least 4 passes tonight on Matt Schaub. 4.
McFadden was there, but the ball should have been caught. This one puts some real sting on it and throws it complete to McGrew. Boy, that is a nice pass. 28 yards from the youngster.
And a great catch. Great concentration to bring that ball in. But when you look at Virginia, they don't have a lot of speedsters on the outside. They can't really stretch the field. They don't have a guy that could get down the field real quick for you. Michael McGrew, who's a sophomore, makes this catch and just snatches it out of the air. Good concentration.
McGrew 2 catches now for 37 yards. Actually, the game breaker on offense is McMullen, and as Adrian said, he has been injured. Well, he threw it right between. He had open Pearman and Lazar and threw it right between the 2 of them.
That's one so wide open you just push it.
I know it.
And then you push it the wrong way. Chris Lazar, tight end, coming across. Pretty good target. And just did not get it to him. Just pushed it behind him.
Here's McMullen on the sideline. You can see underneath his jersey, he has on that flak jacket that Adrian was describing. That's some bruised ribs. Quarterback draw. Boy, he got tagged by Jennings. Bradley Jennings came up and put double 4s on him in a hurry.
I know these guys are young. Now, Bradley Jennings is a senior. But this defense tonight may be coming into what Mickey Andrews wants out of them. Because they've run very well. They've controlled the line of scrimmage. The secondary's kept everything in front of them. Linebackers are making plays. So I think this defense has grown up tonight.
Well, Virginia has 12 rushes for 12 yards on the evening. Third down. Schaub looks to the safety valve and gets that one complete. I don't know if McGrew was. No, they're going to spot him down. His knee touched the ground.
Got a bad spot, but they got to go for this anyway.
down by 13 points with 42 seconds remaining in the third.
Yeah, you only get so many chances against Florida State tonight. Offense not hitting on all cylinders. Defense playing well. You got to take your shot here. And the tough thing is, Ron, they can't. I don't know if they can run for it.
Well, they need to take it to the 31, and you can see they're snapping it from the 33-yard line. They run it, and they got it. Alvin Pierman, the freshman out of Charlotte, tackled by Jennings.
Nice block by the fullback, Jonathan Ward, number 27. See Joe Kynes and Mickey Andrews over there on the side. There's number 27. He just really brush blocks. Looked like Eric Moore took himself out of the play.
Job of play action. Tipped and intercepted, and this is Howard. And Howard has one man to beat, and that's the quarterback, Schaub. And Schaub will miss it. 79 yards on the touchdown interception return.
That was a big league hit on the wide receiver, Anderson.
They are now saying officially 80 yards. He got it one step farther back.
And Abdul Howard, I believe, made the hit. No, he's running with a football. He couldn't make the hit. Rufus Brown, maybe. Couldn't tell.
Extra point. That's no good. He hit the left upright. Hey, Bethea has, he really yanks that ball and starts
all over.
Yeah, he starts it off to the left. Just like he missed that 42-yarder back in the first quarter.
What a hit on Anderson. The misdirection pass play. Number 10.
Samuels.
Yeah, Stanford Samuels, the other corner. And Schaub made a great effort to try to bring down Abdul Howard, but
that's a mismatch at 6'5", 230 for Schaub, trying to run down Howard. The defensive back was pretty speedy. Well, coming up after the game, SportsCenter with Linda Cohn and John Anderson. Diamondbacks and the Braves. Is Seattle sinking? And Michael, Kobe, and Shaq in action, all on SportsCenter immediately following the game. 2 seconds showing on the clock. That's what we have left in the third. And it looks like Bryson Spinner, the sophomore out of Alexandria, Virginia, warming up on the sideline. And we're going to see him on this next series. Well, 4 times they have missed extra point attempts.
Kicking problems at FSU.
Stein with the kickoff, and Mason again as the deep man. Better kick this time. It's going to send him to the goal line, but he will return it. Takes it back out across the 20 into the third quarter, so a timeout. And as we head to the final 15 minutes, our score, Florida State 26 and the Virginia Cavaliers 7.
Unscripted with Chris Connolly.
And Mississippi State was doing what they should against LSU, and that was going after them through the air. Didn't get any points out of that, but they moved down the field. Certainly expect a lot more of that this game.
Time for the Tigers to drive, get some more. The minute 40. And 5 yards for Tofield, and we...
Well, when I got hurt and missed work, glad I had supplemental insurance.
Supplemental insurance? What's that?
Aflac.
Well, even best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does.
What does? Aflac.
Shouldn't ask about it at work.
Really? And what's it called?
Aflac!
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Aflac!
The stock market. A year ago, it was how high is high. Now everyone's asking where's the bottom. Janus has gotten through tough times the same way we've gotten ahead, picking stocks one at a time, looking for opportunities for over 30 years. Janus is looking right now to be in the right place when a downturn turns into a better day. Get there. Janus Mutual Funds.
Well, as we start the fourth quarter, Matt Schaub, lonely feeling when you have been the starter. His numbers on the night: 15 of 31, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, and now 2 interceptions. The last one cost a touchdown. Now this one, actually 2 have resulted in touchdowns. One the interception return and the other one in a touchdown drive. So Bryson at quarterback gets the pass out to McMullen, and he spins around. Is going to wind up being a gain of about 4 in the play. Spinner, 6'2", 218, a sophomore out of Alexandria.
And Ron, he made his first start last year versus Florida State, and he was 9 of 21 for 130 yards. So he knows the speed of the FSU defense.
Now he's going to run it. And Spinner gets what he can. Comes out of bounds over here. Osei, Claudius Osei, forces him out of bounds. And they're going to spot him out at the 30. So he's short by about 2.5 yards.
Showed a little speed there, breaking the pocket. Florida State missing a couple of tackles on him. Looks like he's a better runner than Matt Schaub.
Well, he gets a block here, and he's going to run with the ball, and he'll have the first down at the 35. Boulware will get credit for the tackle.
We talked about Al Groh and being a good fit here. George Welsh, of course, the popular coach here. For a long time, he recruited most of these players that we're seeing here tonight. So I'm sure he hurts a little bit with his former team.
Al Groh intensely looking on. You can see under 14 minutes left in this ball game. Spinner lobs this one out and threw it too short, and it's going to be incomplete as he was trying to get the ball to Mason.
And you think back, Ron, on George Welsh sitting up there tonight, probably thinking about back when he beat Florida State, first ACC team to beat the Seminoles here. So he takes great pride in that. He did a good job here. A lot of good football players in pro football today that was recruited here by George and played here.
Florida State showed blitz, and now they stay at home. They rush 3 and drop 8, and it is caught. Boy, he put that one to Lazar, the only spot it could have been otherwise, with the defenders all around. 19 yards.
Showed a strong arm there too, getting the ball to Chris Lazar, the tight end. Big target at 6'7", and Virginia on the move. Dropping back, looking over the field. Pretty good arm to get the ball to the tight end.
Nobody in the backfield with him. Mason gets it to him, and at the 40-yard line, boy, he gets punished as Jennings is there to help out Samuels.
Ron, if this lead holds up, Bobby Bowden ties Pop Warner. Now that's a name when you go into coaching. Pop Warner, you're talking about the cream of the crop. Now he ties him tonight.
Youth football originally called the Pop Warner leagues all over the country. This is Harris. Takes the pitch. Boy, does he get whacked down. Florida State so quick to the football, and it's Malcolm Tatum who came up and made the hit. Malcolm, we talked about him back in the first quarter, playing with a cast on his hand. He broke a finger. So Rufus Brown replaced him. Samuels on the other side. He's going to come out. You can see that cast he's playing with.
It's a pretty good drive by Virginia. The best we've seen him tonight offensively.
8th play of the drive. On first down, pitch comes back to Harris, and Cope says nope. Adrian, let's check with you on the sideline.
Conversation with Chris Hope, the senior defense free safety. Came in here yesterday, said, Ron, that Miami loss really put a dagger in our hearts. We're a no identity defense. We just don't have any identity to us. Said, I remember Deion Sanders. There's a day I'd like to have my locker sealed too. You know, we just don't hit like we used to. Tonight's the night we kind of want to reestablish ourselves for Mickey Andrews.
They have.
Yeah, they have thrown some licks in this one, I'll tell you. Now that's McMullen, and immediately hit by Howard.
Talked about at the start of this broadcast that they have to refocus their goals now to win this conference, and they're not sitting in a pretty position. Maryland undefeated, North Carolina, who has a victory over them with only one loss.
Pearman tackled at the 30-yard line. Now it'll bring up third down. Jennings with another stop. He has had a terrific ball game for that matter, but particularly in the second half. We called his name quite a bit. .5 minutes left in the ball game. 4th down and 4. And obviously down 26-7. Virginia will go for it. If they want to keep the football, they need to take it to the 26-yard line. This is the 11th play of the Cavalier drive. Threw it too high to Mason. So we'll take a timeout as the ball goes over on downs to Florida State. 11:06 remaining. 26-7 Noles.
The 260 horsepower Acura CL Type S.
Honey, you can dunk, but you can't dip. Your dip is gone, baby.
What are you talking about? No dip.
Introducing new Tostitos Scoops.
Let me tell you something, Bill. I put the hip in chip. Watch this.
With the bite-sized, bowl-shaped design for the perfect dip every time. New Tostitos Scoops. Whoa. The dip lover's chip.
This is my house.
Yes, it is.
No, this is my house. You guys got to go.
Also great with new Queso Supreme dip.
The magic's gone, isn't it? You need a table for two. And a bubble bath. And some champagne.
That'll work.
Marriott Come Out and Play rates make this a great weekend to rekindle the flame.
Can you make me irresistible?
Yeah.
Call 1-800-MARRIOTT. Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites. Your Marriott awaits.
In a world of uncertainty,
there will always be a need for those proud few who can prove they are a world apart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
ESPN's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer. And by Tostitos Scoops, the dip lover's chip.
Well, as we start the fourth quarter, Adrian McPherson, a freshman out of Bradenton, comes in at quarterback, number 5, the only man to earn the distinction of Mr. Basketball and Mr. Football in the state of Florida in the same year. And this is Eric Sheldon who gets the carry. First time we've seen him. Eric is a freshman out of Lexington, Kentucky. And our game track tonight, total yardage, it's been total domination by Florida State, 396 to 196. Jones, 107 yards rushing. Has had an outstanding evening for the Seminoles, and tonight Florida State has turned the turnover table on the opposition as they have gotten 13 points off the 2 turnovers that they forced. Sheldon again. Flags are down. It looks like it's going to be procedure.
Yeah, Brett Williams started a little too soon.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, still second down.
And talking to Jeff Bowden, he talked about Adrian McPherson. He said he'll get in the quarterback mix. He's only thrown 30 passes this year, has not thrown an interception. Seeing him get better and better in practice.
6'4", 185 pounds. Pitches it back to Sheldon. Blockers in front. Sheldon is a good-looking kid, and he breaks this one. Sheldon, one man to beat, and number 22 Curry will force him out of bounds, but not before he rambles all the way down to the 12-yard line of Virginia. 56 yards.
They got some backs now. This freshman Eric Shelton, he's 230. He's a big back. They got Maddox and Greg Jones. He just keeps his feet moving right here. Missed tackles. He pops out, shows pretty good speed. Curry catches him down the sideline.
Mike, is this a little difference in philosophy as far as Coach Bowden and his staff, because they had gone with the Smurfs for so long, like in the 90s, and now Maddox 200 pounds, Jones 243, Shelton 230 pounds. Those are a lot bigger than the guys we used to see.
In the 70s, they were an I formation football team. They gave the ball to the running backs, and they had a good running game, and you're seeing 3 pretty good running backs tonight.
Sheldon, as you can see, stopped for no gain. Florida State would simply like to see that clock going to fast forward and get on a plane and head back to Tallahassee and start preparation for the Maryland Terrapins. They play host to next Saturday. And some of the home folks have seen enough. Sheldon runs into his blockers. He'll wind up with about 1 as Evans defensively, number 30. You can see him down at the bottom of the stack trying to take the ball away.
Chris Ricks tonight, Ron, let's close the book on him. He had a pretty good evening. Now, made some mistakes, but he shows so much promise in different routes. Statistically, 11 of 21. I'm sure he'd like to have those 2 INTs back.
Third down and 7. The ball at the 9-yard line. Greg Jones is now the tailback. Virginia coming on the blitz and whistles. As you can see, the delay given to Jones, and it's going to be delay of game also against the Seminoles.
Still third down.
Talk about coaches looking for good, positive things out of the young quarterback tonight. They seen the post route. Chris Ricks tries to get the ball to Javon Walker, but waits till he's covered Now comes back and hits him on the break. So he got better on that play. That's the same play. He took what the defense gave him on the second one. He was too late on the first one.
Third down and 14 yards. And McPherson looking for a spot to run. And he will be tackled at the 14-yard line. Darrell Sanders, a senior out of Callaway, Maryland, makes the tackle, and that means that Bethea will come back into the lineup. They call him the X-Man because everybody wanted to call him Xavier, but Safida is the way he pronounces it, and Bethea his last name. Field goal attempt from 31 yards, and he got it. So there's a timeout. 7:54 left in the ball game, and our new score is 29-7. The Seminoles of Florida State on top.
Asthma was watching my kids grow up and not always being able to participate.
Advair is an asthma product that's clinically proven to improve lung function and increase symptom-free days to help you do more of the things you want to do. That's because Advair is the first and only product to effectively treat the two main components of asthma, airway constriction and inflammation. Just one inhalation, morning and night. Advair won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be taken more than twice a day. People switching from an oral steroid like prednisone to Advair, which contains an inhaled steroid, need to be especially careful. While adjusting to the switch, your body may not be as able to heal after surgery, infection, or
option. Ahmad Galloway would score. First rushing touchdown Tennessee's allowed all season, 24-21, but in the fourth quarter, a time-eating drive, 17 plays, 85 yards. Clausen on the little boot scoring there, made it 28-24. They would add another 7.
Football amongst friends. Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday mornings at 11 Eastern, only on ESPN.
The more powerful Acura 3.5 RL with satellite-linked navigation system.
So we're back in Charlottesville, 7:54 left in the ball game. 29-7. Stein to kick it off for the Seminoles. And again, Mason is the deep man for Virginia. And he puts this one on the ground, and it hits a blocker in the face mask, and as they scramble for it, that ball's alive. I believe Florida State got it. I believe it's going to be Hetzel, number 13.
Just squib the kick because you don't want the big return against you and mishandled. Ball took a bounce and bounced off the pads. That was Kimball, number 78. You like the big lineman in there to form a wedge, but all of a sudden they kick to him, so you don't like him in there.
And Hetzel got the recovery. So 4 turnovers against the Cavaliers tonight. Flags down everywhere, but Pope came through and delivered a blow on Bolden And that's the reason for the conversation going on. And
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
our overhead shots courtesy of Goodyear, and with us in the Goodyear blimp, Stars and Stripes. On board at the controls, Captain Larry Chambers from Lighthouse Point, Florida. McPherson getting a chance to throw the ball. Got a man on a drag route right over the middle. That's Walker. And he will take it to around the 25-yard line.
I'll bet the Jeff Bowden and Bobby Bowden and Coach Dickey up here in the press box are anxious to see how Adrian McPherson plays in this last 7 minutes. They'd like to see him get more work in the games.
Eric Sheldon back into tailback, number 35, and they give it to him. Tries to bounce it to the outside, and as the flag is down, Newby got out there and did a good job of making sure that he did not turn the ball back upfield.
Another holding call against FSU.
Adrian Karsten, let's check with you again.
Ron, I was talking about some residences established here on campus back in 1823. Well, after an invitation to step through the door today, I can promise you the accommodations are still original and very much sought after.
Now, if you're lucky enough to live on the lawn, you need to know you still need to cut your own firewood for your own fireplace. Ralph Sampson, as an undergrad, lived just next door. I can imagine he probably bumped his head a couple times coming through the door, although Katie Couric and Edgar Allan Poe probably had an easier time of it. Come inside, you can find a sink in every room, too. Of course, if you want to take a shower, you got to go back outside. Assorted cheeses. Ron, looks like they might have been expecting me. I may just sit down and watch the rest of the game from right here.
Oh, he probably had Vino hitting in that room as well. Play action by McPherson, and going to go on top with this one for the end zone, and tipped away. Thomas.
Late flag. Going to get Art Thomas for pass interference.
PK Sam is who he wanted on the pass in the end zone.
Al Gross seen his team make a lot of mistakes tonight, Ron, and when you take over a program, you got to build. This group takes your philosophy, then you bring in fresh recruits and strengthen every position.
Virginia now 7 penalties, 79 yards.
A smart move by PK Sam. He slowed up a little bit to draw the interference from Art Thomas.
Pearson needs to throw again. Got a man at the edge of the end zone, and he dropped it. And that's Ward. B.J. Ward. He did a good job of getting away from out of harm's way, throwing the ball, and then he just dropped a simple pass.
I think Ward was so open that he's waiting for this football. It takes so long for that to get there. And then he tries to be a shortstop and just can't bring it in.
And then by the time that he is juggling, Evans made sure that he is knocked loose of the football. Shelton. Pope and Sims combining on the stop.
Florida State like to see McPherson throw a bunch of passes here at the end.
Clock runs. We're about to go under 6 minutes left in tonight's ball game, and Florida State with a commanding 29-7 lead. Third down. A little too high. That one for Lamar Parrish, and now flags all over the place.
I think they got a lineman downfield. And the ball was thrown downfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't go together.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Adrian, let's go back to you.
Well, Ron, I'll take your phrase. The clock still runs. As a matter of fact, not so much here in the stadium now, but up on top of the rotunda. Back in the early 1900s, this clock was visible outside the front door, those small little rooms there, and it would go off prior.
On the offense, 5 yards, repeat third down.
All right, it would chime prior to 6 o'clock in the morning when everyone's getting up to take their classes. Well, some creative young men took their rifles and started shooting at the thing to stop the clock. No truth to the fact that Bino had a shotgun, but they put bulletproof glass over the front of that to save the clock, and it chimes to this day, not all the time, 6 a.m.
You know, kids through the ages have done anything to shut off an alarm clock and a way to miss class, right? 3rd down and 11. They need to take it to the 10-yard line. Wow, good move right there. The youngster's going to run it, slide down, and very wisely where he goes down, he's got the first down. 11 yards in the run, and Mike, you could see why they like him. There is great mobility there.
And he is a wise man because he didn't take a hit.
Look at this move on Man. Here comes Man. Zoop, he's gone.
Visions of Charlie Ward there.
So it's 1st and goal for Florida State. 5.5 minutes remaining in our ball game. Sheldon comes back in a tailback. They give it to him, and Sheldon's going to take it for a 3-yard gain.
All the programs in the ACC, you're measured by FSU. And Al Grohl knows that he's got to recruit some better players and add to the strength of his team if he's going to compete with these guys. And he knows they're going to be better next year.
Greg Jones on the ground tonight, career high, 107 yards, 18 carries. And Florida State, a season high, 275 yards on the ground. Maddox at 77. McPherson looking to throw, got a man open in the end zone. Did he get his feet down? Yes. Touchdown. That is Smith, Travis Smith, in the far corner of the end zone. A junior out of Miami.
And the players are real happy for Travis Smith.
Interesting. As take us through this, Mike.
Well, he got off the ball a little late, Travis Smith, and Virginia just kind of gave up on it in the secondary. Does a nice job of getting his feet in bounds here, and a good throw from McPherson.
But with the extra point attempt, and he's got it. So 4:47 left in the ball game, and Florida State's lead now 36-7. We'll take a break.
The 260 horsepower Acura CL Type S.
E.T. phone home. I am so scared. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Wait for my signal, then unleash hell. Hello, Clarice. I see dead people.
Really into movies? Then come to Best Buy for all your favorite movies and the coolest ways to watch them, or even make your own. Best Buy. Go ahead, turn on the fun.
It's unpredictable. It's unrehearsed. It's unscripted.
Makes the guy want to watch a little motocross.
Unscripted with Chris Connolly premieres Monday at 5 on ESPN.
Later on SportsCenter, is Joe history? A dramatic Saturday for Penn State. With a loss to the Yankees, the Mariners would just about be history, and MJ continues his comeback in Washington. Join me, Linda Cohn, along with John Anderson for SportsCenter after football.
Travis Smith on the sideline, caught that last touchdown pass, and it's great to see in team sports. Here's a guy that works awfully hard, but doesn't get to play on a regular basis, and you could see how much his teammates like and respect him. He obviously is a hard worker and a good team guy, because they came rushing down the sideline.
They did, and you like to see that. And McPherson also closing out this night with a good throw. And That's what you practice for, that smile right there.
Yeah, you're right. So Stein will kick off, and he has been a real busy guy, particularly in the second half, as the Seminoles have scored 26 unanswered points in the second half. Mason. And Mason's going to take this one out over the 30-yard line. Brian Kenny, let's check with you.
Ron, next week, Maryland will go to Florida State here against Duke. No contest, as expected. Bruce Perry going in here, 59-17, the final. So next week, the unbeaten Terps taking on the defending champions. Ron?
Florida State with a player down, and boy, he was just very, very still at first. Now, I don't know how badly the youngster is injured, but at least we're seeing movement. Because the Virginia trainer was one of the first people to get there to him, and then the medical staff for Florida State came running out as quickly as they could. Have not been able to get the number of the player. Well, we're still checking. Don't want to alarm somebody for any reason. So we'll just wait until they get him up and we can see the number clearly. Looks like it is number 30. And that's Patrick Newton, who is a reserve defensive back who plays on the special teams. On the remaining schedule in the Atlantic Coast Conference,
Ron, when you look at this, I think Florida State has the toughest schedule, then Maryland has the next, and these are the guys that are sitting with the best schedule. Now they got to go to Georgia Tech, but they get Wake and Duke at home, and they have a loss. Maryland, Ralph Friedgen, nobody's blemished their record yet, so it's still up for grabs. All three of these teams with a good shot, and you got to credit John Bunning and North Carolina for coming back.
And you know, I want to say something about one guy that never really gets mentioned. But John Tenuta, who came over from Ohio State, the defensive coordinator. He has done a really good job with those kids.
And I want to mention another guy, and two guys. Gary Tranquil, the offensive coach, used to be here at Virginia with George Welsh. He's taken that offense, and they're getting better and better. Durant is playing very well at quarterback. Curry's playing well. Curry got hurt today. And then Carl Torbush, you know, he left those players there.
Right.
I mean, he recruited them all, and he felt like that he was going to have a good year this year. So hats off to all those guys.
And I guess actually some of those kids were recruited by Mack Brown as well.
Yes. So add him in there. He's sitting at home with a good victory today over Colorado, 31-7. So good night for Mack Brown.
And this is Harris. And Harris is going to have 5, maybe 6 yards in the play. Ball came loose. And it is Florida State's football. Evan Algro is really going to be unhappy about this as McFadden makes the recovery, because mental mistakes on the night, yeah, but to just really get as sloppy as they have gotten in this last quarter is going to be topic of conversation #1 when they get to the locker room and on Monday.
Yeah, I've been in his position. You're sitting on the sideline or standing on the sideline. There's a lot of things that you can build on, and there's a lot of things you need to eliminate. But you know there's help coming. In a couple months, you're going to add the signature of 25 guys on your team so that they're going to strengthen your weaknesses.
So Florida State gets it at the 35-yard line. Sheldon again, and he's going to be hit and knocked down for no gain. Brian Kenny will check with you.
Ron, UCLA eagerly awaiting the BCS rankings on Monday, and here taking on Cal. Look at this little trickeration. Double reverse. Craig Bragg, who's got it? Cal's still wondering who's got it. Bragg all the way up the sideline for the touchdown. It's a 7-3 UCLA lead. And Nebraska does beat Texas Tech, but it's a tough one. 41-31 Tech in it to the end. Look at the numbers for Kingsbury, 350 yards in the air.
Our score 36-7. And Sheldon again has 5, has 10, and he'll have a first down plus a couple more. And it looks as though Crowell was there to help out on the tackle, and also Robertson. But we're going to leave the tackle total as it is right now. So under the category of let's do lunch, Crowell with 13 tackles and Duckett with 10 right now. Duckett's going to have to come up with 3 quick ones, or he's going to be buying Crowell lunch again this week.
Without a doubt. And Brian Kenny's sitting back there, and I just saw White's statistics come over. So Kingsbury had that kind of day. What's White going to have next week against Nebraska, unless they tighten it up?
Well, you saw Crowell on the bench, and Duckett is on the bench as well. So I think you can draw a close on that. 3 minutes left in the ball game.
You should loan him the money.
I know it. I should,
because
I tell you what, Mike, if this thing doesn't hurry and end, we may be the only ones left in the stadium. We are talking about a major abandonment of the property.
The teams are still here.
Sheldon, and he fights his way down to around the 11-yard line. Coming up next here on ESPN Sports Center with Linda Cohn and John Anderson immediately following our ball game, and that should be in about 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
Couple big games next week. You got Oklahoma going to Nebraska, Maryland. Ralph Friedgen taking his team undefeated into Florida State. I'm sure he's sitting at home right now scratching his head because Florida State's got better tonight. Better on defense.
This is Lamar Parrish, who has just come into the ball game, number 19 at running back, tackled by Canty. Well, now for tonight's monster play of the game, and it's going to be Abdul Howard. Here comes the big hit. Pow, right there, and the ball comes right up in Howard's hands. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Parrish again. Parrish is stopped just shy of the 5-yard line. That's our monster play of the game.
Hey, Newby, tell Tate to rip at the ball, please.
Well, this is a Florida State season high. 530 yards on the evening of total offense.
And if they could eliminate their mistakes. This is a good football team now. They did in the second half.
3 turnovers, a fumble and 2 interceptions in the first 30 minutes, but no turnovers here in the second half.
They will not be able to make the mistakes.
McPherson drilled it in for the touchdown. That was a very good throw to Paul Irons, a freshman out of New Orleans, number 38, a reserve tight end.
McPherson's hot. But I was going to say, Ron, they can't make those mistakes next week against Maryland. Maryland will put too much pressure on them with their good offense.
So that means that Bethea comes back on the field to attempt still another extra point. And with 52 seconds left in the ball game, we'll take a break. Florida State 43 and Virginia 7.
Whoop-de-doo. I guess you think Tiny could do better.
You want to put a buck on it?
Oh, you bet I do.
No, big deal, a whole dollar.
No, a dollar buys a lot with 10, 10, 220. It's 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes. And 7 cents a minute after.
Pick up a win and get back on the winning track. Stein puts this one on the ground. And that's Mason who picks it up. Mason 30 and almost to the 35. Tomorrow on ABC, final round coverage of that National Car Rental Classic from Walt Disney World, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. So we got about 41 seconds left to conclude this one. Seminoles see a little bit of a smile there from Coach Bowden. Moves into a tie with Pop Warner in the all-time win list.
And he's headed for the Bear, too.
Yeah. Spinner going to go long, and that one is overthrown. Ottawa Anderson is the man that he was trying to get. The coaches poll. This is the results from this week.
Well, with the BCS coming this week, Oregon's lost at number 5. Fresno, I'm sure, will drop out of the top 10 also. Tennessee with a big win today. South Carolina with another win.
Those rankings will come out, of course, BCS rankings on Monday. Spinner intercepted at the 20-yard line. We're going to have to check a number here. That's Hall, Tyler Hall, 5 turnovers on the night. As Florida State putting a lot of kids in the ball game that don't play on a regular basis, and that should be the final play. And they whistle it back in. 13 seconds showing on the clock. Sports Center coming up next. That's 13 seconds from now. Joe McPherson, who has been impressive. Glad we got to see him play tonight. Really good future for him, it would appear. He will take a knee, and that'll do it. Coach Bowden moves into a tie with Pop Warner. 5 seconds down to 4. And our final score, Florida State 43 and Virginia 7. Coming up next, it's Sports Center. And for final stats, quotes, and a complete summary of this ball game, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. For Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Ron Franklin. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night from Charlottesville.